You're cutting in and out, Sebi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Seriously. You hear you. We are going to need to get you a goat sometime, Sebi. Hello.
Yeah. It's cutting off the end
Yeah.
of when you talk. You could just turn your sensitivity down, up, or something in Discord. Okay, whatever floats your boat.
Sometimes.
So Waterdeep is turning into an anarcho-capitalist heaven.
Yeah, that sounds okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bum bum bum.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't want to go to Neverwinter because then it can't be
No
Lord
Christmas.
Baggins.
You can't pretend you're from Netherwinter if you go to Netherwinter.
Exactly.
Nope. I'm definitely gonna suck because my closest encounter with tabletop role-playing games, that's seeing that one episode of Dexter's Laboratory where Dee Dee was the game master. That's it.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun, and depending on how flexible Sevi is, it makes it more or less fun. I don't imagine you're a rules lawyer, are you, Sevi? Obviously. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that is how I see it too. I interpret the rules as a pirate would, more like a guideline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't rolled my stats yet, but my kobold is.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. So apparently I had myself muted on OBS like a fucking idiot. And I gotta read out that entire thing again for the audience. I am so
That's
fucking...
fine.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
I'm just laughing at myself. Okay. Hello, audience. I am so sorry that I'm an idiot. I have been talking to them, as you probably could tell, and there was long segments of silence. I was actually reading off a little introduction, and I'm going to read that for you now, and they get to hear it again, because, well, I'm the GM, they get to suffer. It is the 1379th year following the Dale Reckoning, the year of lost wisdom in Faerun, and Waterdeep, the city of splendors, has grown tremendously in light of the great stone portals erected 9 years prior, granting connection between the trade hub and the far corners of the realms. Trade is abundant throughout the city, with the city guard and city watch turning a blind eye to the portal travelers who set up every year along the sides of every road with their wares. Rumors abound of the last open lord of Waterdeep, Piagaron the Paladinson, who has not been seen in many years. Some say he returned to wearing the mask and hiding amongst the citizens, while others declare him dead. But with an open lord or not, Waterdeep's masked lords still maintain as much control as they can through their council, which is to say, not nearly as much control as is held by the guilds, whose money and influence are seen as the real government when it comes to day-to-day matters. The city guard and city watch have grown lax in recent years, without a figurehead acting as their commander-in-chief, and more it is the private guards owned by the guildmasters who enforce their own perspective of the law in the City of Splendors. And with no open lord to sit upon the throne of Castle Waterdeep, threats both without and within begin to bolster themselves. Of these, the most successful was among the Scriveners, Scribes, and Clerks Guild, who, no longer bound by the Lord's court, grew in power and wealth as they arbitrated disagreements, defended those caught up by the city guard, and became, in separate parts, the judges, juries, and funders of the executioners within Waterdeep. With a strong alliance between their guild and the Jewelers' Guild, many considered the time of lords to be over, replaced with a time of lawyers and law, enforced by these two guilds and the guilds in their good graces. And it is in the humble offices of one kobold, who strives to make his place as a lawyer within Waterdeep, that our story starts. This kobold is about to have a very curious patron approach him with work, one whose past remains a mystery, and future is tied to the future of Waterdeep itself. And of course we're going to be, I said this while I was muted, but we're going to be using Pathfinder as our system, and our setting is the Forgotten Realms. And yeah, today we're just going to be going through character creation, and if anyone has questions about this setting, I'll make sure to explain that. And if the audience has questions about the setting or anything, I'll answer those later in the show. That said, would our kobold like to start with his introduction, since I know you've been working on your character?
Well, his name is Saul, and he's a lawyer. that he was actually born in the city. And although he knows the stories of his people, he has forgotten the sort of thing you get when you live in a cave and cave systems. He does a little digging now and then under his office home when he's bored, because that is also what his parents did and his grandparents, and that is the only thing he has left that connects him to his koboldness. Because there were caves and hunting to be done, so he spent some time trying to become an actor, but in the end he realized that the law was what he really wanted. And sometimes he is known as Lord Baggins from Neverwinter.
And that's why we're never going to Neverwinter.
Yes.
Master Baggins says.
Alright, anyone want to go next?
Phage, go next.
I think we should let the barbarian go next.
I think you should let me go last, because I never did this.
Yes.
I see. Let me pull up my notes. I've got them here somewhere. Right then. Found my notes. I'll be playing Tegwin, a native of Old Orva. She spent most of her existence slumbering under a pile of rocks. More about that later. At the age of 10, she had been purchased, thrown from one master to the other as a slave in Old Orva. Let's see. At the age of 10, yes, that's, yeah. At the age of 10, she was bought by an old scribe who took her on as an assistant without her knowledge, freeing her in the process. But at this time, of course, she was broken. By the age of 12, she had mastered several languages, and her master finally admitted to her that she wasn't, in fact, a slave anymore and had been his assistant for a couple of years. She took on more and more work. At the age of 14, she was crushed by a boulder coming through the shop while she was fighting with her master about him throwing her away, when she finally realized what being free meant. Moving on, her master purchased the gift of an undead species, placing it within her casket with her in the hopes that once the war that was destroying Orva was over, he would retrieve her and they would finish their discussion. The war was lost and she lay entombed under the city for quite some time. Let's see. Upon freeing herself from the tomb, she found herself in the hands of the cowled wizards who used her for experiments, trying to figure out exactly how this reanimation process she was under worked. Of course, they had no idea what they were doing, not being necromancers themselves. Yeah, I'm really screwing this up.
You should have
Oh,
just
you're
read
fine.
it. You should have just read it straight from your profile.
She spent a few years within the Cowled Wizard's hideout, picked up a few magic tricks from them, and finally, in a moment of carelessness on their part, managed to escape by jumping off the cliff behind their hideout and swimming away. By swimming, I mean she sank to the bottom, picked a direction, and started walking. And this would be where our next player comes in.
Alright, so I'm playing a character named Seth. He is a child of Bast, or Bastet, aka Sharis. And basically the backstory behind the children of Bastet are they were cats that were granted the ability to shapeshift into humans by Bast. I'll go ahead and read Seth's introduction from how I wrote it. It was prophesied, the great cataclysm that destroyed Mulhorand and destroyed its pantheon, and drove its pantheon away. There was nothing Bastet could do. Upon learning about the cataclysm, Bastet sent a chosen few of her children across Faerun to find a place where her children could hide and survive the destruction. Seth's journey began in Skald, the seat of Mulhorundi, the oldest and largest city in all of Faerun. Seeking the fastest travel away from Skald, Seth hopped on a boat heading north in the Alamber Sea, then west through the Sea of the Fallen Stars, ending in Westgate. Checking out every port along the way, none of them were suitable, none of them were far enough away. Upon landing in Westgate, Seth decided he'd had quite enough of boats and water, and he rested there for a time, nearly getting caught up in the whirl of a seedy city of piracy, crime, and hedonism. One day, upon passing the temple of Sune, he heard the whisper of his mother. He mounted the steps to the temple. The whisper of his mother was stronger inside, but different. He came upon two small shrines set aside from the larger one of Sune. He found one of Lyra and the other of Shares. Meditating, he found the whisper coming from the shrine of Shares. It implored him to continue his journey, and it was that day that he found his mother's power did reach this far west, but under a different name, the name of Shares. He continued west on foot with no other goal than to find a city that rivaled Skald's grandeur, a city worthy of the children of Bastet. Stopping along the way, he asked of grand cities. The further west he headed, the less people knew of Skald, and the more people spoke of Waterdeep. He decided that Waterdeep was his new destination. One day, along his journey, he came to the city of Erebor. As he was about to leave the city, heading north, when he met his archenemy, the dastardly Salt Trail. Unable to summon the will to resist, he followed the trail and found himself on a boat once again, a trader's river boat that was bound for Baldur's Gate on the river of Kyanthar. Upon reaching Baldur's Gate, he headed north once again. Upon crossing the river Delimbir near midnight on a cloudy night, Seth was surprised as a child-sized skeleton crawled out of the river onto land. Fascination and curiosity overrode his baser instincts to flee. Well, that's not something you see every day, he muttered to himself out loud. The skeleton suddenly stopped moving, hearing the voice. She looked around, looking about to flee. Seth was even more intrigued. The creature actually looked intelligent. Down here, he called. The creature looked down, jumped back a little, taken aback to encounter a talking cat. Who are you? She muttered in Roran. Seth was surprised she knew the ancient tongue. It was no longer widely used. Who are you? He asked, stepping forward. Tegwin of Orva, assistant to Master Ashki. Seth faltered. Orva? Orva fell over 2,000 years ago. He regarded her further, more buried knowledge. Orva had been almost all but forgotten about entirely by the entirety of Faerun. He took a few more steps forward, and as he did so, he transformed himself into his human form. I am Seth of Mulrundi, child of Bastet. Mulrundi, calendar 1401, 8th of Aristus, city of Orbva. Two crates of fish, 1 crate of milk, demands. Ow! Sorry, I've a cat crawling up my arm. Ow! Ow!
God.
Ow! Ow!
What brilliant timing.
Oh!
Seifu attacks from the shadows.
God damn it! Oh, she really dug her claws in too. Go away.
Know that feeling.
Let's see. 2 crates of fish, 1 crate of milk, demands fish must be unsalted, milk must be fresh. Charged the account of Seth of Mulrundi. You looked different. Did you pay your bill? The creature said. Seth stopped dead, and then started scratching his head. Going through his very long memory of past lives, he narrowed his eyes as he came to a realization. That fish was salted! Should I take that as a no? She asked. Seth shrugs. How would I know? That was 2,000 years ago. Tegwin crossed her bony arms over her bony chest before asking, So, how have you been? Shref shrugged once more. Well, alive. Tegwin sighed, the sound coming out more of a whistle through her bones. You haven't changed a bit. She paused. By the way, I accept your offer. I am running away with you now, she said in a deadpan way. Seth, until this point, not remembering who she was, smiled wildly in remembrance. Tegwin, with the raven hair. Yep, that's me. Grinning with a sweeping bow, as doing so turning back into a cat. Off we go then, my pet. Where? She asked, picking him up off the ground. Seth pointed his paws north up the road. To Waterdeep. The end.
This is going to be such a fucking good game. I can see it now.
Yes, I double as a mount for our cat. I need to get a pillow. A nice, soft, fluffy pillow. One with goose down. Velvet coverlet. You know, the really nice kind.
Well, I guess it's here I go. I cake. I orc. I like to smash. I like food too. Also, so like animals. Sometimes feed strays in city. They work for shinies. Shinies make food.
Well, there
I
we go.
smash.
Oh, sorry. Oh, if you had more, please, go ahead.
Stereotypical orc history.
Sounds like a city orc.
Yeah.
Hangs out in city, more shinies. More people want orc to smash.
Given that it is a good, 2,100 years since the last time the humans and the orcs had a good war, yeah, that actually applies quite well.
Yeah.
Now, I know, one thing to note is that these character sheets are a pain in the padded ass. I mean, seriously, I went with the simplest Pathfinder character sheets I could find on Roll20, and they are still so painfully complex. I recognize
Honestly,
that.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
They're not.
If you go over, I'm sorry, you were gonna say.
I was gonna say they're not too bad. I just can't figure out how to actually alter some of the stats and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward, so we're just gonna go through it all together, I suppose, especially because we all still have to roll ability scores. We're gonna be using 46 drop 1. I even made a macro for it to make things simpler.
Yay!
Excellent.
Did Tegwin already? Someone
I played with it earlier.
Someone I saw roll them already.
I rolled them, but just as a test. I didn't actually save any of the
Since
stats.
no one has them in there, we're just going to we're going to do that now. So yeah, if you type hash 4d6 drop lowest in the chat. Oh, actually, first, Red, you can find your character sheet under the journal. I made a character sheet and gave it to you. And it says
Yeah, I saw it. Mm-hmm.
And now when you
those aren't terrible at all.
When you click save, it'll bring up the actual character sheets. You can just click settings to get rid of the settings page, and then you'll have a wealth of fields to fill out. Feel free to fill out the character details at your leisure. I really want to start with the ability scores, since, you know, this is a role-playing game, which means we need core numbers to roll to base everything off of. But yes, I made a macro, a very simple one, that people are already using, thankfully. All you gotta do is type 4d6 drop lowest with a hashtag in front of it in the chat, and it will roll for you.
You can also go to the collection tab, and under macros, there's a little dice right next to your macro. They can press that too.
Now, what this macro is doing is actually doing the rolling 46, dropping the lowest of each of those rolls, and summing them up for you. and if you mouse over, you can actually see what the rolls were and which die was cast out. In most cases, it is a 1 or a 2. And you can assign each of those 6 numbers wherever you want. Just fill them in under base on the ability scores.
Okay, so we do it once, all the rolls are being done.
Yeah.
Can I reroll?
I'm going to say... Well, no,
No.
if you reroll, everyone has to reroll. And, oh my god, Red.
Sevi, can I have your roll, please?
No, I'm actually using that. That's why I did it.
I see.
I have a metric fuck ton of NPCs that I've prepared, and they all have stories and reason within the stories, so I needed that one.
Wow, mine aren't terrible.
So
What's the
what did I just do?
You just, hit the fucking mother load is what you just did.
Yeah, for sure.
You just typed in hashtag God mode.
Yeah, so, do you have your character sheet open, Red?
Yeah.
On the core tab, under, you'll see a section called ability scores, and a column that's highlighted in blue, labeled base. You
Yeah.
can pick any of these numbers to get. You have to use each of the sets of numbers once. So you have to have those numbers, but you can put them in any order between strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Those full numbers, right?
Yeah. So, if
18 strength.
Yeah, I was gonna say 18 strength.
Okay, so the next one is dexterity. The third one is
Constitution. Constitution determines how endurant or physically strong you are. Like, it has to do with your health, your... let me bring up a quick description of it.
that makes sense to put the 17 there then.
Okay.
Yeah. Constitution represents your character's health and stamina. A Constitution bonus increases your hit points, so the ability is important for all classes. Some creatures, such as undead and constructs, do not have a Constitution score. Phage. Yes, I did look up the Areti, so take that into account.
Yes, I sub in my charisma score for it.
Yes.
So what's the trade-off? Is it 2 points per point or 1 point per point to adjust stats?
It's 2 points per. Wait, are you talking about the bonus?
What's
No, attributes.
what's the thing between wisdom and intelligence?
Usually intelligence and wisdom have to do with spell casting.
And it affects what skills you get bonuses on.
Yeah, so wizards tend to go for intelligence, whereas monks and rangers and clerics and druids go for wisdom, which actually seems kind of imbalanced.
With the bards and sorcerers going charisma.
Yeah. Now, could you repeat your question, Phage?
What's the attribute trade-off to lower an attribute to raise a different attribute?
Oh, 2 points per.
Well, I won't be needing a constitution score then.
No, you won't.
I have a dump stat.
Yes, Red, a dump stat is a stat that you're not going to be using, so you can literally take points out of it to spend elsewhere.
Oh, I have plenty of dump stats, but
How do you use
I
that?
don't have stats to dump.
No, you really don't, do you? You use every fucking stat.
No, they're so low that, yeah.
I mean, what stats don't I use? Like me.
Charisma.
Yeah, you probably aren't going to be using charisma much. However,
you might want to consider keeping a decent wisdom score for magic resistance.
Yes.
Yeah, and at least 10 or 12 in intelligence. Unless
Also
you
remember
wanted
that orcs have a -2 to int, wiz, and charisma.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I just realized you have a strength modifier of +5 with your orc modifiers. Holy shit, that's scary.
It's
Holy
amazing.
shit, what does that mean?
That means everyone will be hiding behind you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the point.
You are
Well,
becoming
okay, so I have to decide because my leftover numbers are 15, 15, and 11, and that's what I have to decide what to type into intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
I would put
So
11 in charisma.
Okay. And I'll put that there. Okay.
I can't recall what I got as bonus and what I got as negatives for being a kobold.
Your
Can I save this somehow?
it automatically saves.
Okay.
Kobold gets a +2 to dexterity, -4 to strength, -2 to constitution.
Right. Let me.
Didn't I get
grab-
any charisma bonus?
You get what?
Did I get any charisma bonus?
Here, I'll send you the page and you can look at.
Kobolds do not get a charisma bonus.
Okay. Yes, a dex then.
Yeah.
Just, that seems like really unbalanced, but I'm sure they probably get it's balanced lower. But having a -4 total in your stats, or a -6 total, that's crazy.
Yeah, that actually does seem a little bit broken. Especially since you're considered small creatures.
Yeah, and he is only getting a +2 bonus to a stat.
You know what? I'm going to say give yourself +2 to charisma because it works with your character.
Thank you.
Also, everyone else's classes have if you sum all their ability score modifiers together, it does amount to at least +2. By the way, Red, your and by the way, for your racials, just put those under the MISC column. Red, yours are 4. I'm doing this for you, so don't worry about it. -2, -2, and -2.
Oh, where did that? There it is.
Here, I'm sending you the orc page on Discord, so that you have all this information in front of you.
I also pasted the kobold page for Team.
Okay, I got my stats.
Orc.
I got my stats sorted. Still wish I could reroll, but that's okay.
Well, that's part of the fun, I guess. Of
Yeah, but I had hoped to have at least one stat that was decent. That's all.
Can our orc sub strength into an intimidate check? I think she should.
I think that should
Doesn't intimidate run off of strength?
I think it's a charisma based.
It's a charisma based skill.
When I play, I usually tell the players that when I get the skill, they decide whether to use strength or charisma, because it's different ways of doing it, but once you are chosen, you can't change it.
I think that, honestly, it should be based off how someone chooses to intimidate.
See, that's how I thought it was supposed to be, too. I didn't realize that they hard put it into charisma. I'm going to say, given that you're an orc, using your strength as your intimidate factor would be the wise choice.
Well,
what else am I planning?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, for example, if you try to intimidate somebody just using words, you would use charisma. But if you try to punch a hole through a stone wall, then that would use strength. So I think it should be based on role playing wise how you choose to intimidate.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to say that. Thank you for bringing it up like that, because otherwise I probably would have been a little bit harder on it.
Right.
That said, the next thing on the character sheet we have to set up is our class and race, or rather our class hit die, base attack bonus, skills per level, and this is all stuff you can oh, sorry?
Really fast, how do you actually modify the strength and stuff? Because I can't modify it. Like, I can't modify my scores at all.
You can't?
You go in a base. In a
In the
base.
base column. And just type it in.
I don't see a base column. There's total, mod, damage, drain, debuff, and condition.
And the character, you have this.
Did you click simplify on any of the settings?
I don't think so, but let me look.
Let me bring up your character sheet right quick.
Yep, use simple templates.
Yeah, disable use simple templates because that shit is broken.
Okay. Do I
you know what? Click see the mode button? If you click expand,
yes.
if you click that, it'll expand it for you.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's better. Much better. Okay, cool.
Let's look at Saul's stats for a second. God damn, that constitution score, ouch.
Yeah.
A soft breeze is going to hurt you, which brings up something I wanted to talk about. And this is just something y'all can think about when we get to further along in the character sheets. I really do think that I'm not a fan of the you all suddenly meet in a tavern, get into a bar brawl, and now you're a party style of starting a game.
Right.
That wouldn't really fit the group.
I'm sorry?
I don't think that would fit this group.
It would not. Which is why I wanted you all to have a means by which you're connected to Saul, to Ottakeen's character. So that he has a reason to call upon y'all when jobs come in.
I was hoping that would come up because as it stands for at least mine and Tegwin's character, we're new to Waterdeep. Like, we're just there's a reason I came, but it's obviously has nothing to do with the Thieves Guild or anything like that.
Right.
I'm a low level Mr. Jones.
Well, technically the Thieves Guild hasn't existed for 79 years at this point, so I mean, any talk of Thieves Guild in character wouldn't really be a thing.
Right.
So all you get is a bunch of gangs that may or may not be thieves and may or may not work for a guild or not.
Yeah, the closest thing there is to a Thieves Guild is the Spies Guild, which is run by a spy master who is also one of the masked lords.
Well, makes sense. Because it's a city, but they still need intelligence when other people come in.
Well, as far as what my character does, so when he got to Waterdeep, his mission or whatever was basically completed from Bast, which was to find a place that the Bastettes could go. So he, meditated or prayed or whatever and contacted Bast and said, hey, I found a place that's just as good as Skald. Send everyone here. So after that, he's pretty much, I guess, like a street rat kind of.
No?
Or a street cat, if you will.
That could make sense. Him occasionally being fed by Ikari, because yes, she likes animals.
Yeah. So basically, he wanders around and he probably steals or does what. I mean, basically, he's going to be a character of leisure. So he pretty much does whatever the hell he wants, but he's good at it.
So it might be a point where he just wants a piece of her, I don't know, hamburger or something, and does kitty eyes. Why not?
Kitty.
I had a question about the skills.
Kitty!
Skills? Yeah, what's that?
Yes. Well, Pathfinder doesn't do a quadrupling like 3.5 does.
No,
But it also
doesn't.
says you gain 3 ranks in a class skill when you take the class. Are we using that?
Yes.
Alright. So I'll just go ahead and apply those.
It's automatic.
Yeah, well, his class isn't going to be in the system, so he's gonna have to add those manually.
Well, what I
my
mean...
Oh wait,
class
you can.
isn't
Oh right, there's a class skill checkbox that will add those
Yes.
3 for you.
Yep.
Yes.
Alright, I still need to finish deciding what to put my skills into. Sorry. I can't multitask. My apologies.
Oh, no worries.
I get a lot of points in linguistics.
Do you think that strength is important at all for Rogue? Like,
only when it comes to smacking something.
well, like if I'm throwing something, does that? Well, with weapon finesse, that will I put my attack skill with my dex bonus and not my strength bonus, right?
Yeah, you would be using your dex bonus in that case.
So,
The only places I could think that you would need strength are in regards to things like specific skills like climb.
oh, true. Let's see. Let me look at the skills real fast.
I think swim is strength-based. Yeah, swim is strength-based. So I don't think you would need... I mean, you want to have maybe a +1 in it, but you wouldn't need more than that. At least to start.
And it's +1 at what, every 2 ranks?
Yeah, well, there's a kind of a scaling to it. Let me...
Oops.
The way it works is at 10 you've got a 0, at 11 you've got 1, at 12 you've got 2, at 14 you have 5, at 15 you have 7, 16, 10. It kind of scales up the higher you go, yeah.
Interesting, okay. Well, that's definitely different than 3.5. So if I had at least an 11 in my strength, then...
Oh, wait, no, I'm confusing the cost. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong table. I'm confusing the cost with the modifier. Okay. No, the modifier is going to be every two points is a +1.
Okay, so that's the same as 3.5.
Yeah.
How are we going to sort out the hit points?
I would prefer it if you guys rolled for it, just because I rolled all my characters, all my NPCs' health.
Okay, I'm going to do that now, so...
So yeah, Red, you have... Why is your health hit point 6? That makes no fucking sense.
What, that a lot or not enough?
That is nothing. Go ahead and,
Glass cannon much?
yeah, no shit. Now, let's see.
I don't know what numbers means what kind of level, so...
No worries, I'm grabbing that info for you.
Oh, there it is.
Barbarian is 1d12 per level. So type /roll space 2d12 in the chat on Roll20.
Forward.
Yeah, /roll space 2d12.
Wow.
Oh, without the actual word forward.
Well, you're definitely moving forward.
Okay.
There you go, that makes sense. Class HP 19.
Nice.
Unfortunately, fucking... Oh, right, you've got no, you should only have a modifier of 3. Somewhere something got messed up.
Well, all she did was roll 2d12, so plus...
No, that was when I typed it in, it...
Oh, okay.
Come on, fix yourself. Why is it giving that enormous of a...
Is it the Constitution bonus adding itself in?
It's the Constitution bonus plus the... No, wait, that is correct. I'm sorry. Yeah, 12. Class HP 19. Constitution modifier times level per hit die. Yeah, okay, that is correct.
So apparently my current HP is at 25.
Yeah.
Health and wounds.
You are very tanky now, thank fuck. Because having 6 HP would have been shitty for you.
Well, in a way, I mean, in a city like that, what's the possibility of, I mean, how the creatures, I mean, people live around there?
Well, I'm pretty sure there is at least back alley brawling, so.
Oh yeah.
I mean about
and-
something like background
shanking's
stories
not so
to do the
bad.
linking. Because if Kobold here is such a weakling, what's the chance his mommy made him play with the orc kid so someone defends him?
I'm pretty sure that a kobold mother would stay as far the fuck away from any orcs as possible. For the sole reason that being stepped on would be fatal.
Yeah, but I believe I have the reason why the orc and the kobold are such good friends. Because the kobold always had this great plans that mostly worked. So they managed to get pies, sometimes shinies, not often. And there likely a couple of not gambler places, but backstreet gambling that is not that happy over poor soul.
So, essentially, you had someone to get your ass out of trouble when you got your gambling debts too high?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Now,
Soul is always there to help his orc friend when the orc is in trouble.
Keep buying them roast beef sandwiches.
Yeah, and getting the orc out of jail.
Now, FC on the character sheet stands for favorite class. Since none of you are above level 2, favorite class doesn't really come into, and none of you are dual classing with 2 level 1s, so favorite class HP doesn't really come into effect. Next is BAB or base attack bonus, and that will be on your the class table. So did I send you the barbarian link, Red?
I don't
Here,
think so.
it's in the Waterdeep chat.
Class P is 9. Sorry, I was getting caught up because I was working on trying to figure out what stats I should do for what. So we roll our hit die and we put what we get in the class HP section?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Fast movement, rage, powers.
You're looking for what's for the column base attack bonus. You're gonna have a +2 that goes under the BAB column.
So I just leveled it up to 2.
Yep.
Yeah?
And then
Okay.
basically everything in this section can be found near the top of that page. So skill ranks per level 4 plus int. So your int is you're a really smart orc, honestly. A 13 in int for an orc, that makes you the smartest orc that your family has ever known. So yeah, skills per level is going to be 5.
5.
And then we skip over favorite class skill, because that's just if you're multi-classing, you're going to want to switch your favorite class info from the class category to the favorite class category, so the math works out. But that'll come at a later point. And
Okay.
yeah, I think I already filled out your fort
Yeah,
save,
it's a
and
3.
yeah, and then your ref save and will save are 0. So yeah, you are looking pretty good. And of course, down at the bottom, we've got our base speeds. I believe Oric has a base speed of 30.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, so at the bottom you can just add that there. How are fly and swim and climb calculated?
Don't know either, because apparently there's like a asterisk next to fly ability.
It'll
you
say
can't fly.
if your characters can fly or swim naturally, it should say that on their race profile how far they can go. So, for example, a merfolk would have a swim speed, and something that can fly would have a fly speed.
Right, okay, there we go. Well, yeah. In which case, leave those alone for now. And yeah, I mean, honestly, this orc is looking fucking awesome now, and that's kind of fucking scary. I might have to step it up because, oh my god. You literally can... So I set up character sheets for the city guard, the city watch, just, you know, the privates and the sergeants. And right now, you would be pretty fucking scary to any sergeant in the city.
As I said, I smash.
14. Alright, there we go.
I mean, honestly, this was my point. I just want... Listen, I do intelligent work on an everyday basis. I just want to be stupid, big, and scary.
Well, you certainly are that.
And gentle with animals.
Okay.
Animals cute.
Please don't try to pick up the animal and accidentally squish it.
No.
Not your George.
Orc like kitty.
That's the scary thing.
What a cute kitty. I will pet you. Squish!
Oh no,
So,
I must
Phage-
find George. I done a bad thing.
Phage, could you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you turn your microphone up just the slightest amount? You are coming in so quiet for me.
Yeah, very, yeah. I think for
Sorry
everyone.
about that.
Oh, no worries.
How's that?
Much better.
Alright, so base action bonus, we got skills, and everything else. Okay.
And you're playing an Unchained Rogue, which is actually fucking awesome. Because,
Yes.
yeah, actually, I read through the classes, and I had an NPC that started off as a rogue, and I was like, holy shit, how is the rogue so fucking weak? But it's because all of the base classes are literal, like, direct translations from 3.5 that don't seem to take much balancing into account for the changes between 3.5 and Pathfinder. Tegwin. The next thing I'm gonna say we should probably go through is skills and then abilities. Skills being another thing that's just really straightforward.
Okay.
Let me make sure I've got everything here. I think so.
We have a very dex-heavy team.
Well, I need dexterity. Naturally.
Well, you don't need it naturally because with every other level you're going to be gaining damage reduction.
Speaking of stat points, ability scores, and whatnot, in Pathfinder, what are the rules for like getting more stat points and stuff?
There's a point cost to that. Essentially, you spend skill points to upgrade your stats.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, and honestly, you're going to be in a very good position to rank up your stats pretty quickly as an Unchained Rogue, with a skills per level of 10.
Right.
I
Because
only get
I can only put as many levels in a skill as I have levels, right? So for now, I can only put 2 ranks into each skill. Okay.
I'm just
I
taking a
thought
peek at.
I thought max rank for a skill was 5.
As far as I know, it should be, because the SRD is actually very scant on some of those details.
Yeah, from what I read, it was, as far as skills go, you can only put as many ranks as you have per level. So like if you have a class skill, you get and you put a rank, at least one rank in it, you get an extra +3. So you would have 4 total plus to your roll.
Right.
Alex
But
actually have a decent swimming ability for the weight. I don't know how that works.
but as far as ranks that you can actually put into a skill, you can only put up to your class level. So player level. So we're starting at level 2, so you can only put 2 ranks into each skill.
Okay, then.
3
Made
plus
the adjustments to my
level.
languages.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you wanted to put
sorry
stats starting into bluff, then you could only put 2 points into bluff, but if bluff is a class skill, then you would have a +5. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It is a
Okay.
class skill for me because I got actor fit.
Right.
And I also
So that's what I'm saying. So as long as you understand what I'm saying.
yeah.
Speaking of which, Red, you have class skills listed on the Barbarian page. You can click the checkbox under the CS column for each of those, and it'll give you +3 to those.
Okay, so
So acrobatics, climb, craft, handle animal, intimidate, knowledge nature, perception, ride. I'm imagining you riding a giant dog. Survival and swim.
Riding a giant cat.
When you get high enough level to evolve, you get to transform into a cat large.
okay, so
How do you want to handle that, by the way, with level? Because as far as that goes, I imagine as far as medium and large transformations go, like how do you want to handle that since it's not a base Pathfinder class?
I was gonna go with level 1, level 6, and level 12.
Okay.
Because most of the transformation classes either use level 1, level 10, and level 20, or level 5, 10, and 20, kind of like that. But
Yeah.
you're a cat, you're not a dragon, or a...
Right.
You're not transforming into something enormously more powerful than a human.
Right.
in which section are those abilities?
Um,
The class skills. Yeah, the class
Yeah.
skills. Yeah, acrobatics.
Okay. I assume that my character has easier time becoming Lord Baggins than any other character when he disguises himself.
Could you? I missed the middle of that. I'm sorry.
I assume that my character has less problem becoming Lord Baggins when he uses disguise than anything else he might try to disguise himself as.
Yeah, disguising yourself as a hobbit, I mean halfling, would actually, be very beneficial to you.
Yeah. Not because it's established character he has made for himself, so.
Filthy hobbitses.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I've got 20 points to spend.
I got 30 points to spend, and I feel it's not enough.
30? How do you have 30?
He has quite an impressive stat bonus.
No, so I get 4 skill points times 4.
No, it's not times 4.
It'd be
It-
times
First level.
2.
It's different in Pathfinder. It's plus 4.
Oh.
So it's your
Oh.
int modifier. It's whatever your class skill is plus your int modifier.
Times the number of
Okay.
levels you have, which is 2.
2 times 2. Yeah.
Okay, then it's just 12.
Yeah, and I totally don't know what to do with that.
Basically, you have 12 points as well to spend.
Mm.
You can just, under the ranks column, pick to spend 1 or 2 points in, because you're level 2, 1 or 2 points in any of those skills that you want to specialize yourself in.
So to raise those numbers by
Yeah.
12.
Raise them by 1 point per spent.
So I can spend 2 on something or more on a particular thing if I want, right?
You can spend up to 2 right now because you're level 2.
So I can use 2 points out of the... Oh, okay, I get it. 2 by thing, total of 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. 2. Okay. Hmm.
Better call Saul. That's all I can think of when I think of your lawyer. It was a very good show, too.
It was.
Starting out with a +9 is beautiful.
Hmm.
Ugh, that -2 modifier really screws you on hit points, though.
Yeah. I still wish I could reroll my stats.
I'm a dick, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, what skills would else be good for me to buff
Let's
up in
see.
this bit?
Well, perception is always a good thing to stick points in, just in general.
Oh shoot, you know what? I forgot to put my modifiers for my class into my skills. Or to my stats. Shit, what was it again?
You mean race?
Yeah, my race stat ability modifiers.
I believe it was a -2 to intelligence
I think it was a -2 to wisdom, honestly, but let me
and a +2 to dex and charisma.
look.
Oh, I could do that. Okay.
-2 to wisdom, +2 to dex and charisma.
Ah,
I got 4 ranks to spend left. Right, stick them in.
I'm not used to having to have so little skills, but I'll manage.
When we're doing our racial modifiers for the ability scores, do we just subtract or add those to the base?
No, stick those under the, fuck, what was the category?
Miscellaneous?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
Means 4 to strength, yeah.
Oh dear. So I actually have to add those two. Okay.
Oh, I put those in I put those in for you, by the way.
Okay.
Which is why you have a terrifying strength stat. Let's see.
Actually, it's not telling me I mean, this is a program not to pull more ranks because it's not stopping me from adding more than 2, or
It won't
That
stop you.
automatic.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's only going to do so much. I mean,
Okay. No, I'm just asking what type of thing is it, this, because I'm doing this for the first time, so.
Okay, I think I have done the skills and the stats for my character now.
So sad. I now have a -1 to my wisdom modifiers. Sub.
But we can use skill points to upgrade stats later.
Yes.
I think
I'm not
I
entirely
think
sure
I
how
did
that
it.
works.
Well, I'm sure Sevi would let us know.
it's the only I mean, other than experience, it's the only stat that you're going to be gaining points to spend in. And honestly, you will. I mean, do you really need more than 15 points in any skill before
Yes.
so there needs to be a way to spend those after you after you get to a certain point. It makes a lot more sense than giving you XP and then when you level, giving you another 10 or 20 or 25 ability score points. Which I honestly think makes less sense from a progression standpoint. So, yeah, Red is peeking ahead, looking at abilities, and we will do abilities next. Abilities includes feats, class features, racial features, traits, and the like. It's kind of a...
Yeah, I was looking ahead because, I finally put in those numbers, so...
The
hopefully it
abilities
works.
tab on the character sheet is kind of a catch-all for that... for that stuff. And also one of the most awkward parts of the character sheet.
Linguistics is the skill that you can eventually do forgeries and stuff with, right?
Let me double check.
I believe linguistics is used for determining your number of languages.
I would think I was...
does determine languages, but it also... Give me just a second. Common uses: learn a language, create and detect forgeries. Yes.
Okay.
I see. I stand corrected.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
Yeah, I don't really understand this setup at all for feats.
Yeah, it's awkward. I'll explain it to you in just a moment when everyone's caught up.
14. Hold on, I'm almost done. 14,
No worries. Take your time.
16, 18, 20.
Something I'm going to say for the audience's sake, especially for people in the audience who have been watching my programming streams, or should I say, programming stream singular at this point. The reason we're using Roll20, despite the fact I hate it so much, is specifically for the purpose of determining how much different parts of it suck and what can be improved upon. This is definitely a segment that can be very well improved upon, in my opinion.
12, 14.
Look at this.
You know, it does calculate the number of ranks you've spent at the top of your sheet on the skills tab, Adwa.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
go
it
all the way
does.
up, it'll show you.
Oh. Maximum. Wait. I'm confused. It's saying I have a maximum of 24 ranks rather than 20.
Let me check your character sheet right quick. Max 24, used 19, ranks remaining 5. I'm going to switch a tab on your thing. I apologize in advance.
It's fine.
Skills per level 10, 20. Where's the extra 4 coming from? Is it
Is
a modifier?
I don't know.
Okay. Here's you can take your character sheet back. I'm gonna double check on that, because
Okay.
it might be adding in the modifier twice. Did you add a racial modifier to it?
I don't think so.
In which case, just ignore those last 4 points.
Okay.
I'm going to blame the character sheet generator.
Well, just out of curiosity, does anyone else have that problem? That it says they have
No.
more ranks than... Okay.
No.
Yeah, because everyone else seems to have 12, or... How many does Sifu have?
Yeah, Seth's
Sorry,
supposed to
Tegwin.
have...
I keep getting your characters mixed up.
That's fine.
Tegwin, how do you have the lowest of the lowest skill rank count?
Because I only get 2 per level plus my intelligence modifier.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yes, they give
Unfortunate.
wizards every language. But
Oh, right.
you get the lowest skill points. You get like every knowledge, but the lowest skill points. Phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty living space.
Oh, good reference. It's an old meme, but it checks out.
Alright, I'm gonna just do that and put 1 knowledge in local. Okay.
So yes, I specialized in dead languages.
Alright, should be good.
All of them. Because I've only been
Ancient
awake for a
Greek.
couple of months.
So do I get to learn 1 new language per linguistic rank? Is that how that works?
I'm gonna just double check to make sure.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. For every
Okay.
point you put into the skill, you learn and speak and read a new language. If
Whoa.
only it were that easy in real life.
I know, right? Alright. Okay, I think I'm done. And we'll figure out where the extra ranks are coming from later.
Alright. Next tab we're gonna do is abilities, and if you look at this tab, it is messy. It has a whole bunch of sub-tabs, and someone's cat is losing their shit.
Yo.
Oh, hi, Nero. To make things simple, you can just leave
I really wish I could shut him up, but it's impossible to do that.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's kind of like LT when... Well, LT when a black person is walking near my front door.
Yo, please. Please.
For simplicity's sake, you can leave it on all abilities, the all tab on, and it will... and when you click the plus button, you'll be able to add and then change what type it is.
I went ahead and added for my racial traits, scent and low light, just so it's there.
Awesome. For that kind of stuff, do be sure to also make those modifications on other tabs, because even though there's a section to see your feats, it doesn't have integration with all the different stats that are available.
Right.
Right?
Well,
So
these are just abilities, so like they're extra, whatever they're called, extraordinary abilities, I believe.
well, if it has X, it's extraordinary. If it has SP, it's special. SU is super. You can identify those when you're adding it.
Right.
I'm going to add one for red just to show her what it's like. And you're going to want to select class features, for example. And then you're going to go to your class features and you're going to see a list. You have, for example, weapon and armor proficiency. So, name, weapon, and armor proficiency. And a short description is copy-pasted from the SRD.
Okay.
Its type is NA. That's, the type is where you would set extraordinary, special, and superior, or super, whatever it is.
Okay.
And then, basically, for that one, that's all you have to add, right? Because that's what you've got. Then you can collapse it by hitting the little arrow, and it'll flatten out. Weapon proficiency doesn't have a frequency. Now, each of these is going to be weird. You're just going to want to go through, click the plus button, copy the name of the class feature into the name fields. If it has EX or SP or SU next to it, you'll pick that from the type fields. You'll definitely want to include at least like the first sentence from the description on your from the SRD. So for like fast movement, add in fast movement, set it to EX, and then a barbarian's land speed is faster than the norm for her race by 10 feet. Unfortunately, there's nothing to actually have it automatically add that, so you're going to want to go over to core and add 10 manually to your speed. Although, I think that's oh, no. So your orc can move 40 feet per turn. That's fucking crazy.
Orc, run away!
Orc bull rush? Now, make sure you're only adding ones that you have for first and second level, for which you have fast movement, rage power, and uncanny dodge, in addition to weapon and armor proficiency. Also, uncanny dodge, holy crap.
Uncanny dodge is nice.
Yeah, uncanny dodge plus damage reduction. Yeah, this is going to be a dodge tank.
It's a T-44, baby.
Yeah.
But as far as those skills go, you have to say beforehand whether or not you're going to use the skill. Because you can only use it once. Is it once per round or once per day?
Oh, it's not once per round. I think it's once per combat. I'm going to say once per combat session just because it's a non-magical ability. Or rather, a non-magical feature. At second level, Barbarian gains the ability to react to danger before her senses would normally allow her to do so. She cannot be caught flat-footed, nor does she lose her dex bonus, so that's always, actually. Uncanny dodge is not something she has to call out.
Oh, okay. That must be the way it is in 5e.
Yeah, rage powers, on the other hand, she can only use for a certain number of turns. Or, wait, I'm sorry. Rage is something she can only use a certain number of rounds per day. So, 4 plus your Constitution modifier at first level. Every level after first, you can rage for 2 additional rounds. That's insane. Okay, yeah, that's actually kind of fucking scary. Alright, so...
Oh, okay, it's not one of those where you make a save to get to do half damage. That's what I thought Uncanny Dodge was.
Oh, no. No, that's, there's a
Evasion.
rogue, I believe it's
Yeah,
a
okay,
rogue.
it's evasion. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
evasion.
Yep.
Now, Red, Rage Powers is one of the class traits categories. And under Rage Powers, you actually can see a link to the Rage Powers page. How many do you get? Starting at 2nd level, the Barbarian gains a Rage Power. Alright, so if you go to the Rage Powers page, it'll have a long list of Rage Powers you can pick from. And they have different requirements. Many of them require you to be Barbarian 6, 10, or 12. If they don't have, if it says Barbarian 2 or doesn't, it just has a dash, you can pick that one.
Okay.
So you can pick that, make sure to set it as a trait instead of a class feature. And you can add that in, and the description, you can essentially do the same thing you did with features, where you just add in the name and copy the description of the benefit into the short description. Same goes for our Unchained Rogue and Rogue Talents. Although I think Rogue Talents has the page is kind of weird to find, so I will grab that for you right quick.
Rogue talents are...
If I understood the spells, I get as many spells per implement as I can cast. If I understood
Yes.
it correctly.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the Occultist is fucking cheap when it comes to spells.
Yeah.
It
So,
also,
like,
I think that makes up for your remarkably low stats.
So things like finesse training and stuff, I'm going to put that under class features.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Yes, finesse training is a class feature. An extraordinary class feature.
Okay. Type extraordinary.
I seriously need to figure out what schools I'm going to take. Can't make up my mind.
Well, by level 20, you're going to have taken all of them, if I remember the Occultist correctly.
Yeah, true, but what do I need now?
Healing.
That's the question.
I thought
Healing.
Tegwin was healing.
I did pick up that talent, yes.
So we're just going to have all the heals. Awesome. Shit, where's...
Good.
Where's,
We're going to have all the heals and not need them. Because the orc's going to destroy everything.
Well, someone's
I don't
got to
know,
keep the
someone-
orc standing for the
I was gonna
destruction.
say, yeah, someone's gotta keep the orc standing as you stick the orc in the front, and then wait for them to all focus on the orc so the cat can sneak behind.
Alright.
I'm going to need a transportation school. I can do healing if I take conjuration, but that means I have one more school to choose.
So, okay. Is sneak attack added under... What is that under? It's supposed to be added under. Is it added under class features?
Sneak attack is a class feature, yes. There's also an attack and damage drop down that you can use to turn that into an attack on your attacks tab. If you click the attack and damage drop down, there's a little button that says create attack, and it will add the attack to your attacks tab. Although I want to see the attack... Oh, I'm fucking around with Red's character sheet, which makes me a cunt.
Special attack? Oh, disappeared.
That
He's
laughter.
back.
Is that coming from Keems?
Yes.
I think
It's
that's
my,
his
it's my
roommate.
brother. He was supposed to have a nice, relaxing day, and then our sister decided that a trip across the border, that's good. And now she's too drunk to get home.
Oh dear.
He is laughing so hard. It's amazing.
It's either that or crying.
Yeah, one of the two.
Well, with the drunken
Exactly.
sister involved, it could be either.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get 3 implement schools total.
Yeah, I do. So transportation was the only school I knew I wanted to take because I get knock, and that is the thing I need to complete my character, so to speak. I'm going to take illusion, I think, and then I can be the healer if I take conjuration, or I can be a defender and take abjuration. I leave that to the group. What do you think I need?
Well, Tegwin, what all are you taking?
Well, when it comes to arcane magic, I'm a universalist.
Well, I just mean as far as healing goes.
I only get cure spells.
So you don't actually get any healing spells? You can only...
I do. Cure light wounds, cure moderate wounds, cure critical.
Oh, okay.
I don't get the remove status spells.
What
So if you're poisoned, you're kind of on your own. I'll keep you alive, but poison might still win.
I get delay poison.
Of course, if you
find
die,
it important to
I can
note
bring you
that
back.
I find it important to note that the City Guard and City Watch equip poison. They carry poison-tipped, poison-tipped arrows and poison-tipped bolts.
Speaking of, what is my AC?
I fear no poison, nor arrow.
If the city guard starts pointing weapons at my character, he's just going to raise his hands.
That would... okay, I would say that would be the best idea, except they're not stronger than your orc buddy.
Yeah. And the orc buddy just added powerful blow as a trait.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
I would just try to talk my way out of it.
It's very important that you try and do that, at least in the beginning.
And that is what my character is good at, but if they start pointing weapons, then talk is over.
By the way, something very important to note about the Aneti? Is that the name of your class, Phage?
Aleti.
Aleti?
Yes.
With the existence of the City of the Dead, there's actually an undead, as well as the any monsters that come out of the Undermountain. There's basically you can make money. Okay, not you specifically, but anyone else who finds out that you're a skeleton might want to get your skull in order to earn a bounty from the City Guard.
Well, I guess you're keeping those wrappings on your face.
So, we're going to Neverwinter, right?
Guess we need to get you that charm bracelet pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, you can live in my basement.
I thought you had a or is that a higher level that you... Well,
that would be the prestige class that gives that. I do not have said prestige class. So instead, I took turn resistance.
In which case, you absolutely need a disguise. Is it disguise in this mode?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I hope you can disguise well.
It is not a class skill. However, stealth was a racial skill, so...
Okay, I'm going to do what, okay, your hood is going to have to, be a very effective shadow on your face.
Well, he also has the wrappings always... The character always has the wrappings over her face, too, so...
Well, my characters can always disguise him.
That's also an option too, yes. And also a good place in which your characters could come together.
Actually, I realized something. If I take necromancy, then I can use restore corpse on.
No, don't use restore corpse.
No, I
Please
was
don't.
by a boulder. You don't want to see that.
Okay.
Where I died? No, we don't need a pancake.
Tegwin does not want to be a zombie anyways.
A zombie pancake. A zombie child pancake.
Oh,
You don't want to
Okay,
be food around me.
Let's keep it out of the Saw territory, please.
oh my
Yeah, no
goodness.
shit.
I can disguise at least. So.
For those following along at home, Phage is actually playing a mystic race from 3.5, which we have translated over to Pathfinder, because I love fucking with systems.
What if I take divination as my third one?
Divination's not a bad class to take.
I get
I
detect
should
poison.
note, I do have the disguise self spell, so if it comes down to it,
That helps,
I can at least
yeah.
look human.
Yeah, but if you use disguise self in conjunction with my skills, then I can make you look like anything.
I think I also have disguise, so if the two of us work on her.
Yeah, I make her pretty. Brush her hair.
If I were to make
And
a
love her
suggestion...
forever and ever and ever.
If I were to make a suggestion, Ottakeen, I would say that Abjuration's actually a wise choice because of the shielding. Shielding plus healing means that your team is actually going to be very well set.
So I should take conjuration, abjuration, and transmutation.
That's an awesome set, actually. First level occultist spells, transmutation, featherfall.
Gravity bow.
Gravity bow. I'm just gonna read this one. Gravity bow significantly increases the weight and density of arrows or bolts fired from your bow or crossbow the instant before they strike their target, and then return them to normal a few moments later. Any arrow fired from a bow or crossbow you are carrying when the spell is cast deals damage as if it is one size larger than it actually is. Oh, that is so wonderful.
So if I cast gravity bow myself and wields 2 daggers and have red throw me.
Unfortunately, you would have to cast it on red for that to have an effect. And, I mean, I would allow it. I would totally allow it, but you would have to cast it on red for it to have the effect of her throwing you and increasing your size weight damage. Also, that's...
We can do the cannonball special. Special unite attack. Ooh, negate aroma.
That's an effective way to make sure no one smells the dead that's walking around with you.
Well, here's the thing. At this point, she's just a skeleton, and
I guess
a
so.
skeleton, so she's not rotting.
She has long since rotted.
Yes.
It's not my
Youthful
fault I was
appearance. There's another useful transmutation spell.
But if she's just a skeleton now, then it's much easier to give her a proper body, because we can just get her to a toy maker.
Yes. Wax carver.
Well, depending on our starting loot per character, there are a few things I could pick up that would solve this problem.
Well, in addition to your starting class gold, there's going to be something that happens in the first.
So, how many of these traits am I supposed to add?
I believe you only have one right now. Second level, you have one rage power.
Okay.
So I have one rogue talent. Tell me, do you think black
do I have
market
to-
connections
have
would be
to-
useful?
Can you disable the ones you put in, or do you have to go in?
Just label it as not yet or something.
Okay.
What was your question again, Adwa?
I was just going to say, do you think black market connections would be useful?
Actually, yes.
Yes.
Maybe I'll start with that.
I mean, this is Waterdeep after all. You don't want to shop at just any, you don't want to shop at any blanket that's been spread out on the side of the street.
This is true. Yeah, I think I'll take that as my first rogue ability. And as far as feats go, we get how many right now starting out?
One per level.
One per level. So we get 2 feats.
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's one per every other level. My mistake.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why
that's what I thought.
That's why the
Okay.
feats available says 1 on the character sheets.
So do
what
we
qualifies as feats actually?
I'll get you that list, Red. There is a long fucking list of them.
So does it start at level 1 or start at level 2? So we would get our next one at 3 or 4?
You get it at 3. You get 1
Okay.
at first level, and then every 2 levels after that.
Okay.
Here is the feats list. It is quite fucking long. So that might take you some time to get through.
And intimidating.
Do I get a feat or... Alltså, jag har aldrig taken an actor feat that replaced my kobold racial skills, but do I get one more feat or?
Yes, because we're using that feat as a class feature instead of a feat.
Okay, that works.
So my rogue talents, does that go under special abilities?
But there's actually a traits category.
Oh, okay.
Those are classed as traits in Pathfinder.
Okay.
I have no idea what feat I should take.
There are so fucking many of them. Especially because because this SRD actually lists all the feats from all the expansion books and third-party books. So, I mean, good lord, I wouldn't even know where to start. I'm scrolling through and it just keeps going. I can tell you what you can't take. You can't take anything that has the word improved in front of it unless you already have the feat to go with it. So that cuts off a small section of the list.
Yeah. And I also take that I can't take any modern feats as well.
Also take note that feats do have dependencies, so there are just some feats you can't take. So if you see something that looks interesting, make sure to look into it and make sure that you don't need to be like Druid 6 to pick it up.
I wanted fiendish wings. Oh, can't be fiendish at all. Wings would have been so awesome.
Can I pick up a cap of human disguise?
I was hoping more of a bracelet.
Hey, the cap could work. It could look like a hair ornament.
Well, then it wouldn't be a cap, would it? It would be a hair ornament of human disguise.
A brooch of human disguise.
Perfect.
Actually, I mean, there are... I mean,
How
you might be able
about-
to spend your feet in order to...
An eyeball of human disguise.
I like my eyes the way they are, thank you. With the few parts of me that are left.
Okay, what about tongue? Tongue of human disguise?
Earwax
I have a
of
silver
human
tongue.
disguise.
No, really.
Yes.
Oh, that was a nice feat. Too bad I can't take it just yet.
Now there's a very simple, useful feat. Extra feature. Oh, wait, no, that's a shape... Wrong definition of feature. Constitution 13, Skinwalker. When you change shape to your bestial form, you choose one additional feature from those listed in your shape-changing ability to gain that benefit while in bestial form. Not what I thought it was.
Oh, God.
Well, I plan to get Craft Wondrous next level.
Do they have any... lists of feats that can be used by classes? Because that would make all of this a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think I saw that somewhere.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, you know what? It was under races. There were certain racial feats. That's what I saw.
Whoa, this could have been fun to have. Sabotage magical item.
Stay away from my toys.
Animal disguise human. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you guys to fight off a Selkie while I steal its skin. Then we can run. There's the magic item that will solve my problems.
Yeah, right.
It's too bad I can't use animal companion feats since I am an animal.
You would have to become a companion. Want to be my familiar? Huh? You meet the qualifications.
Ooh,
I am an
teamwork
animal.
feats.
See? Teamwork feats.
There are a number of teamwork feats. Back to back, basic harmony, bonded minds.
Cat to Doken.
All I need here's what I'm picturing. I'm just picturing Red's character just picking up my character and throwing me as a projectile, and then with the
Just scratch
added
their eyes out.
Let's see.
added
Conduit
forest claws
casting.
out.
Actually, that looks like something that would be fascinating to see with this group.
How about she flings you in your small form and you turn into your big form midair?
Well, I can't do that till 12th level.
So
And-
while you're soaring through the air, you just turn from this tiny little kitten
And
into a
but
saber-toothed tiger.
the problem with that is it takes me around to transform. So at least 6 seconds. So if the person's right in front of me, I would just basically be on their head and then transform into saber-toothed tiger, and they go.
That would still be effective. The rest of us could kick him while he's down.
I could
Curb
I could
stomp
just stomp. So how many feet can
Just
you
one.
add?
Just one
okay.
for now. When you hit level 3, you'll get your next one.
What is this? Cloak
Well-
and dagger stuff.
I picked Destroyer's Blessing.
Hello, paladins.
Oh.
It says regain rage rounds and heal hit points when sundering in combat.
Great choice.
Dangerous tail.
That's
Oh,
actually
you
an
gotta-
amazing choice. It integrates so well. When you are raging and you succeed at a Sunder combat maneuver, you regain 1 round of rage. If the Sunder attempt causes the object to gain the broken condition, you heal 1 hit point. Holy shit, that's brilliant, actually. By the way, Sunder, for those who don't know, you can attempt to sunder an item held or worn by your opponent in place of a melee attack. Attempting to sunder an item provokes an attack of opportunity from the target of your maneuver. If your attack is successful, you deal damage to the item normally. Damage that exceeds the object's hardness is subtracted from its hit points. If the object has equal or less than half its total hit points remaining, it gains the broken condition. The damage you would deal would reduce it to less than 0 hit. Blah, blah, blah. If the damage you deal would reduce the object to less than 0 hit points, you can choose to destroy it.
That's pretty awesome.
I told you. Quick smash.
And Sunder doesn't only apply to weapons, you can also sunder armor.
What are traits?
And imagine that when I get more traits added, because the ones that are for the future, among other, is armor ripper.
I believe traits are like things, are the talents. Is that what we're counting as traits?
Yeah, rogue talents, barbarian rage powers, these are all traits.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually,
And that's one of the rage powers.
They're class-specific feats.
Oh, so if I take an extra trait, then I get more stuff I can do with my implements.
Yeah.
Just out of
Or
curiosity.
things like what I would do with my arcane reservoir.
If I were to want to take a catfolk trait, feat, would I be able to? Even though I'm not technically a catfolk?
I do think she would meet the minimum requirements.
Can you link it to me?
Well, I haven't picked one. I was just looking at them, but I was just out of curiosity.
I'm trying to find catfolk feats just to see what they are.
Oh, okay. I'll link you to the catfolk page, and it's at the bottom.
Thank you.
I can't figure out what sort of feat I should take.
Well,
I found
you're
a few
supposed
more
to.
feats that
You're
have
supposed to
do
be
with
technically a
performance.
lizard. How about be venomous if it's an option?
That is actually a good idea, because I can sell the venom.
Because there's racial feats and there's rogue talents for catfolk as well.
I'm going to say everything but catfolk exemplar.
Okay.
Although technically I think you can get enhanced senses fast printer and an equivalent of sharp claws from your rogue trait, your rogue talents.
Gotcha.
Anyways, so it's not much of a problem. But yeah, Black Cat, totally. Claw Pounce, totally. Feline Grace, absolutely. Nimble Striker. Sure, absolutely. Nimble Striker, you do not take a -2 penalty to armor class when you use the cleave feat, lunge feat, or when you charge.
Okay, cool.
Okay, venoms are serpent folk. Sure, I am serpent folk.
What about the rogue talents?
Yeah, I'll allow those for, I'll allow those, because all of those certainly apply.
Sweet.
By the way, for spellcasters, I don't know if you noticed, but there's actually a on the setting, if you click settings at the very top, there's actually a checkbox you have to click to enable the spells tab. Yeah, under settings, there is a, the fourth or fifth thing has a uses spells checkbox, and that will enable your spells tab right next to your skills tab. I'm going to be back in just 1 second. Feel free to ramble away and shoot the shit so the audience has stuff to laugh about.
I keep missing. Oh! I think I want to take Black Marketeer.
Black Marketeer. What's that do?
I get a resource pool worth 100 gold pieces. This can be used on illegal, illicit items and services.
I wonder
that
how.
can be useful.
I will have to ask Sevi, but I wonder how well that might fit into my black market connections rogue feat.
Well, he's got the shekels and you got the connections.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, one thing I noted about the occultist class is that they are hoarders. No matter what archetype you follow, they are hoarders.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them hoard rather creepy stuff like ghosts.
Some of them hoard little creepy stuff like little goblinoid characters that look like children.
Have you ever seen Gremlins?
Yes.
All I can say is that he needs to hoard food that doesn't spoil if he wants to get help all the time.
Yeah. Do you know that Chinese guy that has the gremlin?
No.
Well, he is a typical occultist.
Mm.
It's that kind of character, an occultist.
You realize that I haven't seen Gremlins in like...
Yeah, it's been years.
20 years?
Something like that, yeah.
I played Crossing Souls, so it has some reference to the gremlins there. But basically, it's that creepy Asian dude that has all those wisdom and all those weird stuff.
So he's a Chinese happy merchant, basically.
Yeah.
Just admit it, you're running an opium den.
That is something I can use my basement for.
Oh, I still don't know what to choose. This is why I hate feats. Feats?
Yeah, I can see why you hate them.
Feats is my least favorite part of D&D.
Alright, give it to me. I'll put it to good use.
No, you can choose a feat for me, though.
Choose a feat for you.
Mm-hmm. City Sprinter. What is that?
I'll pick one for you. Catfolk. I'm sorry, Black Cat is what I meant. Once per day, as an immediate action, when you're hit by a melee attack, you can force the opponent...
He will meow very angrily. That will drive everyone death. We had an example of that a little bit earlier.
Oh, I kind of like that, actually.
You can force an opponent who made the attack to re-roll it with a -4 penalty. The opponent must take the result of the second attack roll.
Yeah, I actually like that.
Your fur turns completely black when you take this feat.
Oh.
I'd probably go with Bomber, honestly.
Bomber.
You make bombs.
Bomber cats, does whatever a bomber can.
So here I make bombs, I take them, and then I have Orc throw me, and then as I fly over the head
And
of
then
the
you're
target,
a
I drop.
flying fortress.
And then I just drop the bombs on the heads of whoever I'm flying
Or
over.
more like a
while you're
old
flying,
F-16 or something, or a MiG.
you shove
Yeah,
your
fighter
arms
jet.
out, and at arm's length as you're flying over, you go.
I would like to take the feat flying cat, sort of like a flying squirrel, where I can just glide.
There is the acrobatic stunt feat.
I'm pretty sure that there's a feat for something similar to that.
I would love to take Evidence Forger, but I ain't sure if I can take it. Wonder.
Actually, it might be something you could take, because you are a lawyer after all.
Evidence
Well,
Forger, that actually...
What about
you do not
convincing
have...
lie?
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait until, at least 5th level, so you can actually... when you have the manifestation school to take that.
What about what now?
Convincing lie.
What does that one do?
Those who believe your lie use your bluff skill when repeating the lies. You're a rumor spreader.
Nice.
That's actually
Very useful.
where. Can you send me that feat? Because I don't see it on the main.
It's under rogue.
So he's CNN.
Oh, it's under rogue. It's under rogue talents.
Yes.
So he's basically CNN.
Pretty much. But I can't take that right now. Like that's a talent. I can't take rogue talents as feats.
You would have
I
to
see.
wait until your next
Right.
rogue talent.
Well, let me get into the feat section then.
Deny
I'd keep
death.
that one in mind, though.
Speaking of feats, convincing persona.
That was some fun.
Do you have 5 ranks of bluff and 5 ranks of perform, Arakeen?
I can probably rearrange my stuff to be that.
Well, right now we can't have more than 2 ranks.
Yeah, but 2 plus 3 because of
Is that how that
class
works?
skill. Yeah,
Like,
the prerequisite is based on your final score, not your not the
okay.
points you put into it.
Nice. That's good to
Next
know.
one I'm gonna pick is gonna be Thrill of the Kill.
But I got +3 on my class skills. Me confused.
Let's see. God, there are so fucking
Hi,
many
Pedro.
feats.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is.
Do I get +3 on my class skills and ranks, or is that something I misheard?
What was the question?
Do I get +3 on my class skills in ranks?
Yeah, if you hit the checkbox for a class skill, it'll add the 3 in there.
It would auto-add it to your final score.
Yeah.
Which is why my linguistics is as high as it is.
What is your linguistics?
Get back over here to my character sheet. My linguistics is 8.
Oh, nice.
I speak 9 languages, including my base of Thras. The other 8 are all languages that are long since dead. Does it make sense?
Do you speak
How
Orc?
useful. How very useful of you.
Hey.
Do you speak Orc?
Nope. I speak a very ancient form of Orc.
Oh good, you're not
Here.
gonna recognize my curses.
Orc with a K.
I might. A lot of curses are based on loanwords from parent languages.
Well, then you're gonna have to find some earplugs.
Oh,
I will probably correct your grammar.
I was meaning to ask you this. So with my
What grammar?
class,
I have no grammar.
my languages are common and animal speak. Does that mean I can speak with animals?
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
Okay.
I'm going to take convincing persona because it's either that or black marketeer, but the convincing persona, it fits.
It really does, honestly. Oh no, I'm totally Bilbo Baggins.
What do you mean? I don't look 11T1.
11D1, so young.
Abilities. Well, since we're not starting until like next time, since we're not actually starting gameplay, I'm gonna like take the week to figure out a feat.
Yeah, go right ahead.
That way we're
Mostly-
not holding. That way I'm not holding anyone up.
So, how many times in a session can I make
Be right
a
back.
Pepperidge Farm Remembers reference?
Well, that's gonna depend on whether or not, people laugh at it. If no one laughs, well, you've just spent all your Pepperidge Farm Remembers currency.
Sad. Not enough
It's kind of
cookies.
like the that's what she said rule. If you say that's what she said and no one laughs, congratulations, you're kicked.
Yes, I see the kitten. What did she do?
Convincing persona. +5 to bluff and disguise while in masked persona. Yeah. That's nice.
Alright. Next on our list of shit, I forgot to do defenses with y'all, although most of that is automated.
7.
I really hope I get shanked at some point in this game.
Well, as long as they shank you and not hit you with a mace.
Yeah, being sapped would be dangerous. But getting shanked... I'll just say deeper.
Alright.
You
All
call
right,
that
so-
shanking?
Okay. I got 11 in bluff now, and
I mean, that could totally make
11 in
you could
disguise.
go not stab childrens, even if dead.
They're
Yeah,
tasty.
Rage initiated.
I'm gonna look like a...
With it.
I need to find a feat that just makes me look completely harmless.
Childlike.
Is that actually a feat?
Yes.
What is your charisma modifier, Kim?
I didn't find that under general.
Charisma
General feats,
modifier.
childlike. Charisma 13. Oh, it's a
I
Plus
halfling.
2.
It's
I
a
got the
halfling
15
one.
in charisma.
You got a
see.
15,
But that's
so
only
that's
to
plus
disguise
2?
checks to make you look like a
Yes.
human child.
Pooh.
Isn't
I
that
already
what you
look
want
like
to...
one.
I was gonna say, isn't that what you want?
2, 4.
Is there a mostly harmless feat?
I could dress up like Earth-chan. I mean, if we ever go hitchhiking, it'll...
I'm so glad someone got the reference.
Helpless prisoner. Bluff 5 ranks, escape artist 1 rank. Not really.
Okay, so I get 3 times 3 knacks. Fun.
2.
For cantrips. Yeah.
6, 9.
Everyone's feats have a first letter before N in the alphabet, because this list goes on forever. Let's see.
I am happy with my chosen feat.
Which is why I was like, I'll just take
I'm going to take Mage Hand because then
figure
I
out my
can
feet
pickpocket. Mage Hand.
Alright, so The equipment list is a lot like the the abilities list in that it could have been designed better.
Okay,
Open,
this is a bit of a mess.
close.
Fortunately, when you switch to play mode by clicking the mode button, it does compress everything. But in edit mode, it's certainly a pain in the ass. Be sure to roll your currency, which is based on your class.
How to roll currency?
46 times 10.
At second level?
Starting wealth.
Starting wealth for barbarian is 3d6 times 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
So you /roll 3d6 times and then multiply it by 10. And that's how and you also start out with an outfit worth 10 gold or less.
That's 3.
So you have 30 gold.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Come on, big money, no whammies. Nope.
I lost my... Oh, there it is.
Okay, take
So...
conjugation. Yeah, it's okay.
Orcs don't hoard. We just go.
You are a
Alright.
lucky cat.
Food.
I am.
Well, the cats like to be picky. They need them as tuna steaks and salmon.
Exactly.
So how much of it is in catnip? Or moon sugar?
I got 46 times 10 for starting wealth.
Right.
Yes, so roll your 46.
Do you want to? Right now. I'm skeptical.
100 gold is not bad.
I'm skeptic about these golds.
He needs to feed me on top of things. So yeah, he's skeptical.
Well, if it makes you guys feel any better, I'll give you a slight spoiler for next week. Someone is going to be paying you in advance for a job.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in
More
how the fuck
burgers.
we all meet, honestly.
Well, that's up to y'all, honestly. I mean, one thing about when I GM, I'm in it for the communal storytelling aspect. I have a lot of shit written down about where I want to lead the story, but at the end of the day, it's just as much in y'all's hands as it is in mine.
I mean, okay. The question then is, do you guys want to make this up, or do you want to leave it to someone else to do it? Because, I mean, Sevi's been tortured by me with sending me my actual writing story, so if you want, I can make up the script for that.
Well, no, I've got quite a lot set up for the story already, so don't worry about that.
Well, at
Yeah.
present, Sephu and Tegwin walked into, they walked into Waterdeep, her carrying a cat.
Seth. It's not Sephu, it's Seth.
Seth. She probably stole a pillow somewhere along the way, and she's carrying him palanquin style.
It's so it's pronounced in the same way that Desu is pronounced. You
Yes.
don't pronounce the U at the end.
Yes.
My character will not.
And
be
I
saying
have a
word.
feeling that Sephu one moment is gonna feel the smell of a pastrami sandwich he's gonna really want a piece of.
Alright, so now is another fun part with giant lists. I want you guys to at least pick out your basic equipment, because at least your armor and your weapons, so we can have the defenses and attacks laid out.
Question.
Yes.
They're with weapon finesse, I think. I'm not 100% sure of the way it works, but it's like I can pick something, a weapon that's not a simple weapon, and it basically becomes a simple weapon that I can use. Like I can pick a martial weapon, I think.
Natural weapons are considered light weapons. With a light weapon made for a creature of your size category, you can use your... This is much different from what you're describing.
I hear orcs can wield battle hammers, so...
Maybe I was looking at something else. Let me look really fast.
I want a cool weapon, but I can't really see for myself what sort of weapon a cool one that really can't hit anything should build.
An icicle club.
You should. I mean, logically, you should carry a crossbow.
Yes, from everything you've described, a crossbow.
Okay, so with a light weapon, elven curved blade, rapier, whip, or spike chain made for a creature of your size category, blah 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 blah. Okay, well maybe I was. Oh, right. Oh, no, okay, so I remember what I was going to ask. Basically, there's the elven curved blade, rapier, whipped, and spike chains are considered martial weapons, I think.
Yes.
I was curious, and this is completely up to you, but since Bastet's chosen weapon or whatever thing is a claw bracer, and it's considered an exotic weapon, I was curious if I can use that.
I think that would be a great idea. They were a thing for the Indians when they were an actual empire in their place.
Well, yeah,
I'm going to allow it for the specific reason that it would have been a martial weapon in your native land, 2,000 years ago.
Okay, cool.
It's only exotic to where you're at right now. If you're bringing it with you, I'm going to say it's martial.
Cool. Yeah, because I just wanted to. Oh, and my other thought process was, especially because it is specifically Bastet's favorite weapon.
Find a list of weapons for orcs.
Should I just go to the user player's handbook for weapons, because in the Pathfinder book I only find double crossbow.
A double crossbow?
That sounds better than a crossbow, actually.
Yeah, it does, but I can't.
If you can afford it, I mean...
I can't.
Link it to me and I'll see if we can make it work.
I can't afford it. It's 300 gold.
Then no.
Yeah. So
let's agree on a regular crossbow for less.
I'm going to use the stand-up player's handbook and check the weapons there then.
Where's that?
The 3.5.
I told you all I know about these types of games is a Dexter's Laboratory episode.
Yeah, no. I'm checking the player's handbook.
This is for you guys and also for the audience. I'm your selected dumbass for the hour for this series.
Well, let's put it this way: every one of us has started at one point, and you know, all it takes to become fairly proficient is, for one, playing a little bit, and for two, just reading the source material. Like, just read.
Yeah, but where do I find that source book he's mentioning? Because I can't see it on the pages I've been linked.
Well,
he's actually referring to a book for a different system that, in a lot of cases, we're adapting from.
Okay.
My biggest suggestion is just go to the D20 SRD, the Pathfinder SRD that all the pages you've been linked to is, and read through those.
That will explain quite a lot, yes. As well as the PDFs I've already linked to you.
Equipped.
Okay, going to...
Okay, wealth and money, weapons.
I also would like to have the DM's opinion on my equipment and my shifting. So, if I'm wearing armor, will it shift with me, or does it drop to the ground?
You know what? Okay, I think the two of you guys, one being a corpse and one a 2,000-year-old cat, you actually could have heirloom items.
Well, and I was thinking that too, but I don't want to. Basically, whatever the DM, because I don't want to break the game. So whatever the DM thinks.
Let me look up. How does it work for the shifter class?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
Well, let's hold on. The feline shifter class, it doesn't say. You talking about changeling?
No, the feline shifter class is what we're balancing. What we're balancing
Yeah.
your class against.
It doesn't say.
Huh. Well, then it would have to be enchanted.
Okay.
And
I wonder if I
presumably
should.
the armor you start with, you can have spent the money to make sure it's enchanted. But
Okay.
future armor you would have to have enchanted. There
Alright,
are shops in Waterdeep that can do that kind of enchantment, though.
Cool.
I wonder if I should take a sweeper.
It's kind of frustrating that of all the things that are so detailed in this section. Oh, found it. Okay. The weapons and equipment have like the least amount of description.
Yes. I was trying to look up rules on like throwing things, but there's no, like, for example, kunai and daggers, but there were no descriptions really about some of those things.
In that situation, just show me the 3.5 page and I'll adapt it to I'll adapt it to Pathfinder.
Okay.
Red. A warhammer costs 12 gold. Does 1d8 damage for a medium size. Has a critical of ×3. Weighs 5 pounds.
That good?
That's pretty good, yeah. Especially the ×3 crit.
I'll go with your opinion.
I suppose I should take a crossbow heavy, but I wonder if I could have a hand catapult instead.
Aren't you small size?
Yes. I just wanted a crossbow that acts like a catapult instead, so I could throw alchemy fire at people.
The shotgun equivalent of a crossbow.
Yeah.
It's gonna knock you on your ass.
No, not really. I mean, something that throws bottles, potion bottles.
Let's see. Ranged weapons. Blah. Sling, 8 versus armor class. Damage 1. Type bludgeon.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
I
It was
can
fun,
get
though.
weapons.
Yeah. I really can't imagine myself with a weapon, because any weapon I choose I'm not going to be able to use.
Where is my equipment page? There it is. It's amazing. You start doing this, you start with like 2 tabs open, and 2 hours later you have 50 tabs open.
This is true.
Yes, I know. I've got a ton of tabs and apparently 6 different windows, and I'm so confused on where I am. Let's see. Close.
With regards to armor, Red, I would recommend... Well, honestly, anything. Scale mail tends to be pretty fucking effective.
I wish I got a blunderbuss. That would be fun.
Blunderbuss. Huh. Let me look at that right quick.
Wouldn't you have to have firearms training, I believe, to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where do I put in the...
It's under the equipment list at the bottom of the equip tab.
Okay, so hands.
Hands is actually for gauntlets. Just put your weapon in there without and set it as carried.
I am going to drop getting me a weapon because I can't see my character able to fight anyhow.
Okay, weapon.
It's completely useless in battle.
Now you know how Vexy feels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vaxi is actually more useful than this guy.
Weapon carried.
Okay. I disagree.
I would recommend having a weapon if just for the sake of defending yourself if something gets into or close to range of attack.
True.
I mean, if nothing else, you know, a sling is not a terrible weapon.
Oh god, slings.
Can I have a trick? Can I have a trick spear?
A trick spear?
Just a spear that the pilot morph for, so that it looks like a walking stick. I spent one round turning it into a spear.
I'll let you do that so long as it's, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to be an entire round. It can be a bonus action to swap it.
Yeah.
Basically a triggering mechanism. You press a button, a spear comes out. Or a pointy.
Yeah. Exactly. Because... yeah.
It definitely fits with the character, too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find spears and...
I mean, these don't really repeat. What do I put into hard, HP, max, and value in here?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to search that. I'm gonna have to search that shit up with you. Just ignore those fields for now.
Okay, because I just filled out the weight with a 5 so far. Because I guess that's what WT means. I mean.
Yeah, weight. WT is weight.
So that's the only one I can.
Spear, small, 1d6, critical times 3, range 20 feet. That's hilarious. You're 3 feet tall and you have a spear that has a range of 20 feet.
That's if he throws it.
Yeah.
But if he throws it, then he's gonna have a heck of a time fighting the rest of
it.
Yeah. Especially if it gets lodged into something.
I shouldn't have spent so much on that.
What is this? Dancing scarves?
Dancing scarves?
Let's see. A set of colorful scars is made of heavy silk with reinforced leather straps. As you move, they flutter and flow, obscuring your shape and protecting against enemy attacks. Dancing scarves provide no benefit whilst you are standing still. Whenever you move at least 10 feet during your turn, you gain a +2 to armor bonus to AC until the beginning of your next turn.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Someone in the chat, Soul3A1, asked what we're using for character creation. We are using the D20 Pathfinder SRD website and the character sheets that are part of Roll20.net. Thank you for fixing your AC there. Alright.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And Curated Opinions says, wow, this is still going. Yeah. And I expect our sessions are going to be quite long when we get into it. I expect this will go for many weeks because I have a long fucking story set out that's going to happen whether or not the players actually do anything. I'll just have to adapt to what they're doing while shit is still going on in the background.
I feel your pain.
All armor I can afford is just padded.
We're going to spend the whole session trying to get over a pit. Oh dear.
Well, yeah, so our last 3.5 session, me, Phage, and Keem play on Saturdays as well. We spent 45 minutes trying to get over a spiked trap pit in which the entire party fell into.
lord. Well, I wish you luck when you guys have to go to the Undermountain.
No.
I'm not
The way
looking
you
forward
sold
to the Hall.
Undermountain.
This is why you have me. I'm just gonna charge and trample at things, and there's your solution.
It's a good thing I've got healing spells.
I got healing spells too. But
It's a
before
good
we go
thing
to
we've both got
Undermountain, we're
healing
going to need a
spells.
chicken wand. I'm not going into the Undermountain without a chicken wand.
Alright.
I could always get the create undead spell, then we could send them ahead.
Yeah, but chicken wand. I mean, a wand that creates chickens.
That would be actually very effective in so many cases. The more I think about that, the more hilarious it becomes. Okay, chicken, go forward. Crushed! Alright, there's one trap. Chicken, go forward. Spikes, there's 2 traps.
Actually, that is the method that Dungeon Incorporated uses.
So I'm imagining this. So we're all really hungry. We take our chicken. We're like, we don't want to cook. We take our chicken. We just send it through the traps. So for a spike trap, and then it gets skewered, and then there's a fire trap, and it roasts our chicken, and then we eat.
Oh, we can just bring beef. You can eat that in any form.
Yeah, but
We
Bring
could
it
make
on.
a
To
wand
throw
of
beef
salmon
at the-
summoning.
Roll to throw beef at the trap trigger.
Or just let's get a cow.
Summon
Yeah,
dinner.
Wait, what is this?
No, I'm serious. A wand of salmon summoning. Can all have just. Blade trap comes by. Hey, look, sashimi.
Well, that's the same thing. A cow is actually bigger. You get more meat out of it, and you can eat tartar too.
yeah, but it's still only going to trigger 1 trap, maybe 2 before it's used up. A
My
chicken
character
wand.
doesn't do that thing.
A chicken might actually fly over the trap and give us a screw you and run away.
Yeah, well, it might hit the next trap in the process, so it's not that bad.
Exactly.
So, just out of curiosity, I'm looking at the armor and shields page. So the armor shield bonus, that's the bonus to the AC, right?
Yes.
And then what is this dex bonus thing?
Dexterity bonus.
Yeah, but it's the maximum dex bonus you... fuck, let me find a good description of that.
Okay.
Because trying to explain it myself, I feel kind of... I find myself short on words.
How do you post how to buy your weapon or get it in general with your goal? I don't know how to do this. Because I've seen people posting it here, but what's the combination here?
They are clicking on their attack, I presume, from the attacks
Yes.
page? Yes. So
I
when
would
your
check
weapon is set up,
work.
when you filled out the whole thing for your weapon, there's actually a button that says create attack. And it will create an attack from all the stats you've put in, and then you can go over to the attacks tab and click it to roll it.
Like this one.
Maximum dex bonus. This number is the maximum dexterity bonus to AC that this type of armor allows. Dexterity bonuses in excess of this number are reduced to this number for the purposes of determining the wearer's armor class. Heavier armor limits mobility, reducing the wearer's ability to dodge blows. This restriction does not affect any other dexterity-related abilities.
Can I have parade armor?
Have what armor?
Parade armor.
Well, you can afford it.
Yay! I get +2 to diplomacy. And intimidate. Ooh, the orc should have parade armor as well. Of Waterdeep.
Well, you'd have to buy it for him. Because it's not cheap at 25 gold.
Yeah, especially if you have it out of 30, you have 12 gold for Warhammer. I got just padded stuff. And
Wow, I
honestly,
got all my weapons
it
for
doesn't
8.
even have the stats right for the thing, so...
Alright, I'm helping you out with your Warhammer stats, Red. The weapon,
Okay.
if you open up the weapon attributes thing, attack type...
Yeah, but I
Oh, I'm sorry?
it just gives me a blank page.
Oh, right, you actually have to find it on the equipment, weapon... It's on this page, and it's like a third of the way down.
Yeah, I know, but when I click the name, it just gives me a blank page.
Yeah, don't click the name, because they don't have any fucking descriptions, like little bastards. You gotta scroll down to the martial two-handed melee weapons?
It's martial one-handed, yeah.
Martial one-handed, I'm sorry. And, yeah, so you'd be carrying a medium, which is 1d8. And yeah, I know I know there's no description there. We'll deal with that through the rest of the week, trying to get things like... I'm probably gonna end up making a simple formula for hardness, HP, and max, just to simplify that for us. Weapon attributes: 1d8. Default size medium. Attack type melee. Not masterwork. Multiplier 3. Oh, wait, was I just editing? Oh, no. Where did your weapon go? Oh, you ran away, that's why. No worries. I was editing your weapon. If you go back to the weapon tab, and click create attack, the little button next to where it says melee.
So let me just be clear about this maximum dex bonus thing. If I'm wearing an armor and my dex bonus is higher than any of these things, basically my dex bonus can't be higher than...
your dex bonus is limited to the max dex bonus that armor allows.
Ah, okay.
Not something you have to worry about now, but as you level up, it will become more of a concern.
Is it for skill checks then, or...?
No, it's only for AC checks.
Okay, I created an attack based on this
And
weapon.
now if you go into attacks, the tab at the very top, you should be able to scroll down and see, well, you double clicked it, but whatever. If you click on the icon, the little dice icon next to the name Warhammer.
Red, do you want parade armor?
Is it good?
It's decent.
I mean, it's better than padded, so yes, of course I do.
Okay,
it's got some nice bonuses to it.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to buy parade armor for you. Because it's useful when we do stuff.
Well, that was impressive there, Red. 15 versus AC, damage 10. You are going to be a fucking beast. Oh my god.
That was the point.
Okay, then I have 45 gold left.
Anyway, back to...
I mean, there's better sides to it. I have horrible bloody manners.
I brought you back to your armor so you can keep doing what you were doing.
So, yeah, in that case, I mean, if he buys it for me, then it should appear on my thing.
Yeah, he's just gotta take it out of his golds. Don't forget to put your currency up in the carried currency section of your equipment. Red's had 30.
Can I get 5 gold from you, Red?
How do I send it?
This
does not have a PayPal.
You're going to be giving it to him. I'm still working from the presumption that you're the bodyguard and he's the unwilling weaker species that is your slave.
Pretty common for those species.
I mean, the carried currencies is CP, SP, GP,
Yeah,
PP.
gold. Yeah, GP is gold points. Although
Oh,
it's important to note that in Waterdeep they use a different terminology for money. They use suns, they use moons, and I'll give you the explanation of that here in a
so in
second.
that case, I'm just gonna put in 25 in that case, I guess.
Don't forget to take out the price of your.
So I'm taking
Warhammer.
out the price of my Warhammer, so that leaves 18, and minus the 5 for Arkin, that's 13 left, yeah.
Right. 1 platinum point is a sun. 1 gold is a dragon. 1 electrum is a sambar. 1 silver is a shard, and 1 copper is a nib.
Is that 3.5 though? Because they don't use
That's-
Electrum in Pathfinder.
Right, no, this is specifically, yeah, this is for 3.5. We don't have electrum, so you don't have to worry about that. Not to mention, electrum has a weird exchange rate. Because an electrum is technically, you know, half a gold, so...
I'm just glad I don't have to worry about arcane spell failure.
So it's 100, 100, 100, right? Exchange copper to silver, silver to gold, gold to platinum.
10 gold to a platinum, 100 silver to a platinum, 1,000 copper to a platinum.
Okay.
So it's by 10.
Okay.
And I will ignore the existence of sambars, Electrum. But yeah, if someone asks you for a sun, they are not asking you to take a star from the sky.
Someone asked me for the sun. I'd be like, well, I mean, I can ask Mom if she can do it.
That'll cost you 10 dragons. 10 dragons? No!
I've never even seen a dragon before.
Oh, that's gonna change. No, I've written up quite a lot of stuff, and I am actually very excited to play this game, because this is a story that I've been working on. There's a lot of gaps in the history of the Forgotten Realms, and they're often called years of forgotten wisdom, or decades of lost remembrance, things like that. And they usually exist so that, you know, GMs can fill in the gaps. I'm doing more than that. I'm just completely fucking up the history of the Forgotten Realms to tell my own story. I'm taking people from the future, taking people from the past. I am having my own fucking... I'm just going buck wild with my story because I love to.
So if we end up going at least 5 years into the future, are you going to forget about the spell plague?
No. God, no. That's part of
I'm
what
a
I'm
magic
doing,
item.
though.
I'm fine.
That's part of what I want, though. I want to be able to get to, you know, the story of the dragon staff. I want to be able to get to the story of the changing of the open lords. Because these are things that always fascinated me about Waterdeep. I certainly hope I haven't spoiled too much, because...
You haven't, because to be completely honest with you, I know nothing about the Forgotten Realms other than what I've read in the past week, so...
Well, yes. But don't worry, you won't have to go back to Baldur's Gate.
That is good. I wouldn't want to fight Sarevok again.
Alright. I guess I'm gonna go
And
with...
I don't think anyone else caught that.
I got it. I also got a dog who is very large in my lap, begging for pets like she's tiny.
I got a cat in my lap.
LT needs a butt scratch. LT needs a butt scratch.
I got Dorita.
Yes, you do, baby. Oh, look at that helicopter butt. Look at that helicopter butt. Oh, yes, I know. I'll take you out in a bit, honey. But yes, we have some fucking amazing characters at this point. Seriously, I mean, not just the orc, although I've been, praising the orc because I've done a lot of the work for it. But seriously, I mean, like, I'm gonna go through and peek at some of the character sheets, so I apologize if... Tell me if you're still working on something so I don't interrupt you.
I'm just looking at SRD pages right now.
Okay, then I'm gonna go through your character sheet first.
I'm going to go and choose spells, and then I think my character is mostly ready.
Alright. Let's see.
Transmutation, conjuration, abjuration. Okay. Transmutation. Ooh.
Okay, here's something that needs explaining because it's, I'm not sure if... I can't remember if there's an equivalent or not in 3.5, but combat maneuvers and combat defensive maneuvers.
Yes, that is something that needs explaining because I have no idea what those are.
It is something very special. I had the tab open, but I can't find it, so I'm just gonna reopen it up. I probably have a ton of shit open in multiple places. Combat Maneuver Bonus. Each character and creature has a Combat Maneuver Bonus, or CMB, that represents its skill at performing combat maneuvers. It's your base attack bonus, plus your strength modifier, plus a special size modifier. So if you're medium, you get a size modifier of 0, small -1, large +1. Some feats and abilities grant a bonus to your CMB when performing specific maneuvers. When performing a combat maneuver, you must use an action appropriate to the maneuver you're attempting to perform. While many combat maneuvers can be performed as part of an attack action, full attack action, or AOO, attack of opportunity, others require a specific action. Unless otherwise noted, performing a combat maneuver provokes an attack of opportunity from the target. If you are hit by the target, you take the damage normally and apply that amount as a penalty to the attack roll to perform the maneuver. If your target is immobilized or unconscious or otherwise incapacitated, your maneuver automatically succeeds. Now, certain types of combat maneuvers are things like bull rushing. You can make a bull rush as a... God... Thank you, sirens.
They're really not that annoying.
No, they're not. I'm pretty sure that people heard nearer words than your sirens.
Probably, it just caught me off guard. You can make a bull rush as a standard action, red, or as part of a charge in place of the melee attack. You can only bull rush an opponent who is no more than one size category larger than you. A bull rush attempts to push an opponent straight back without doing any harm. If you have improved bull rush, initiating a bull rush provokes... If you do not have an improved bull rush, it provokes an attack of opportunity. If successful, your target is pushed back 5 feet. Disarm.
If it doesn't cause damage, what's the fun in that?
Oh, you can use it to get people away from your squishies, for example.
Outer. That means everyone except me.
Yeah, that's why they're your squishies. Grapple is a combat maneuver. Overrun, red. You can attempt to overrun your target moving through its square. Steal, you can attempt to steal an item. Sunder, this is another one that applies to red very specifically, in which you can attempt to break someone's weapon, or at least break or destroy someone's weapon. Feint, which applies to our rogue.
If red has Sunder, then I'm going to take Sundering Shard as a spell.
I mean, is there something like a weapon like the Dragon's Tooth in this game?
Yeah, but not at your level. But
Yeah,
just wait.
I'm just asking, and also Dark Souls reference.
But again, wait until we get to... LT, you are just laying your head in my lap like you're so much smaller than you actually are. She really wants the attention.
I know that feeling, to be fair. LT is still a lot smaller than my actual wolf pitbull mix.
How much does that dog weigh again?
No one fucking knows at this point. No one bothered. I'm guessing somewhere about 40 kilograms.
Okay, yeah, bigger than LT, but only slightly.
Yeah. She's massive, though. She's massive. I mean,
Yeah,
put a
LT's
wolf
slim.
and a... Yeah, put a pitbull and a wolf together. I mean, literally. Take most of a wolf and put it on pitbull muscled crooked paws. They're thick. Yeah, that's what they get. American pitbull style, by the way. Yeah.
There are also defensive maneuvers that you can take, which is basically what you use to resist a combat maneuver. Combat defensive maneuver actually has a much more complex formula. 10 plus the base attack bonus plus strength modifier plus dexterity modifier plus size modifier plus misc. Misc would be deflection, dodge, insight, luck, morale, profane, sacred bonuses to AC. Flat-footed creatures don't add their dexterity to their combat maneuver defense. I hope I explained all that well.
Yeah, it makes sense. The only thing I am curious about is you were talking about, so there's the CMD, the defensive one?
Yes, CMD is what you roll to defend against a combat maneuver, and CMB is what you roll to execute a combat maneuver.
So I don't see a place on the sheet for the CMBs.
I could have sworn it was on the...
Is it under attacks?
Yes, it is, and it's the third category under attacks. You've got melee,
Okay.
ranged, and then CMB.
And CMBs, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, Red, are you taking Sundering?
Yeah, why not? I mean, if it serves me. Mostly I'm just gonna go points, though.
Well, you have to.
Okay.
You would have to take improved sunder, but at the same time,
Yeah.
you can just say, "I want to sunder this guy's weapon," and then roll for it.
Yeah,
So
because if I cast Sundering Shard on Red, then she does extra stuff when he sunders something.
Oh, sick!
That's actually perfect, because that's way he's fucking disarmed, and then, well, you're fried. KFC style fried, so per year.
As long as he doesn't have multiple weapons.
Okay, I would like to create a new spell now. It will be called
I
Sergeant...
mean, even if he has multiple weapons, if he's, for example, left with a crossbow or a dagger, what's that gonna do against the warbow, right? Warhammer, I'm sorry. What's that gonna do?
Well, with Sundering Shard, you do 1d6 of points of piercing and slashing damage when you sunder something. And it lasts for 1 hour per level.
That is fucking epic.
or until discharged.
Okay, hold on. I want to double check this spell because that sounds really good.
which spell?
Sundering Shards.
Oh.
You channel power into a melee weapon. If the weapon's wielder destroys an item with a successful Sunder combat maneuver, she can release the extra power into the weapon, shattering the sundered item into jagged shards, dealing 1.6 points of piercing and slashing damage to a creature that was wearing, carrying, or... Holy shit, that is sick. So essentially, you cast this spell, and then Red comes along with her fucking warhammer and just whap! And suddenly you turn their armor or weapon into a weapon against them as it turns into shards that sink into their fucking body. That is disturbingly awesome. I love it. Okay, now, Phage, you had a spell you wanted to create.
Yes. It was made by battle mage who was a corporal at the time whose name was Sanders. It's called Corporal Sanders Poultry Eliminator. It deals 1d8 points of damage per level to any avian creature.
Phage, are you American?
Yes, I am.
You don't know what good KFC be. We actually got the good stuff like Koreans and Japanese people.
Oh, I do know what good fried chicken is. I was in Louisiana pre-Katrina. Yeah, Hurricane Katrina. Back before the city was destroyed. Trust me, you get around the French Quarter back then, you got good food.
I know. I'm just saying that the KFC in Russia, Japan, and South Korea is actually the stuff you want to get, not you have to get, because you're starving on the road.
The Tengu population in Waterdeep are going to hate you. For those in the audience who don't know, Tengu are crow people, essentially.
How do they taste?
Exactly.
Like pheasant.
Food! Also, I'm sorry, I'm just saying this line is gonna be one of Ikrik's signature lines whenever you're, for example, doing something in the meanwhile, and then time is just gonna be like, food!
This is going to be way too fun. Oh, God, I'm loving this so far.
So just out of clarification, when we were talking about the claw bracer, were you saying that I can have it as if I brought it from Mulhorundi, or I can buy it and use it as like a martial weapon?
You can have it as a brought weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the thing. Maybe you can actually use one of those heirloom things and use as a weapon. Maybe you can combine the stats of that. I mean, is that even possible? I'm just asking.
I'm not sure there's an heirloom-like system in Pathfinder. There's a masterwork system.
I've seen heirloom objects, so...
Let me search it up.
I mean, I'm sorry if I'm sounding stupid to anyone that actually is in...
Heirloom weapon.
You carry a non-masterwork, simpler martial weapon that has been passed down from generation to generation. You get a benefit of proficiency. Actually, yeah, that would totally fucking work. Well, yeah, I'm so glad the person who's never played is teaching us something.
I mean, these systems are so robust that you learn something new every day, literally.
Yeah, seriously, no kidding.
I mean, I probably noticed that because I was going to it the first time and it just, like, registers in my head at the moment. So it's like, hey, what about this? I just saw it right a moment back. Don't mind me if I'm being as smart as my orc.
Stabilize. What does stabilize do? Stabilize is a very useful spell.
What's the spell? I'm sorry?
Stabilize.
Stabilize, alright.
Yeah, stabilize.
It's basically you don't make death throw, or you get stabilized to 0 and you don't continue to bleed out, I think is what it is.
Yeah,
Casting
basically.
The spell, you target a living creature that has -1 or fewer hit points. Creature is automatically stabilized and does not lose any further hit points. If this creature later takes damage, it continues dying normally.
Unless you stabilize it again.
So do you stabilize it by sticking a dagger in it? Steve's been stabilized.
Well, maybe if I use an icicle dagger.
Use a heat dagger and it's cauterizing, stabilizing.
I wish I could have a heat dagger instead of icicle dagger. It was so much funner.
We have some awesome characters.
Icicle dagger is not a fun weapon.
I mean, observing the characters, I'm just waiting for a scene to happen where we meet an enemy and suddenly everyone is fucking clawing at my ass. Like,
well, you're an orc, so you're not. Are you still a medium creature, or are you a large creature?
Medium.
It's considered to be medium, a bit larger than an average human.
But fucking
But
buff.
they have, buff as fuck. And remember, the small buff fuckers are usually the deadliest ones. Remember Joe Pesci in Goodfellas?
Ooh,
I
good
do.
reference.
Okay, I can actually throw my spear, it seems, because I have returning weapon as a spell.
Nice. Kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Reveal the spear, throw the spear, cast a spell to get the spear back.
I had cast a spell before. It lasts for 1 minute per level, but the duration of the spell only is while.
Well, considering a round is 6 seconds, 1 minute is still quite a long time.
Yeah.
Long enough for all kinds of bad stuff to happen to you.
Yep.
It takes less than a second itself for stuff to happen to you in real life when you're in battle. So your
Long
brain
enough for
picks it up as seconds on seconds, but it's actually a lot shorter than that in reality. I say this from a point of view of someone who's actually been in fights.
I've been in plenty of fights. I grew up in Memphis.
I love Memphis.
I'm Russian, okay?
Isn't there a song about
I went to football matches since I was less than 10 years old, okay? My grandpa brought me along. There.
I am in love with this, we have such a cast of, and the best part is that y'all fall below the good category. None of you categorize as good.
I do.
What do you mean as oh, you mean the
Alignment?
alignment?
Oh no, not by alignment standards, by you are a rogues gallery. God damn it, all of these words are loaded.
We're a
Hey,
bunch
mister.
of misfits.
Yes. You are quite the group of misfits, and I'm loving it.
I mean, hell, what do you mean? My orc is basically a fucking gopnista. She just misses an added accent.
If we find the unmasked lord, I'll walk up to him and say, "Hey, mister, are we a rowdy bunch?"
Oh, you're gonna be in for a party if you want to.
Am I the
meet
only one who
Lord.
saw Azumanga?
No, I knew what you were referring to, but I was also finding it funny that you brought up the Open Lord.
Which manga?
Azumanga
I need to check that out sometime.
That's
It's
been
adorable.
It's
God, I haven't seen that in forever.
Revelation.
But yeah, I mean, everything I mentioned in the opening description is in there for a reason.
Oh my god, too many tabs. Armor. Weapons, there it is. Alright, so...
No, come on, go without armor. You'll be fine.
In the 5e game that I play on Sundays, I for the most part go armorless. But I'm a druid, so I can do that from a safe distance. Standing on top of a furbolg shoulder.
Where is
Shock
our
shield
AC?
sounds fun, but at the same time, it's not so fun.
What were you looking for?
Where's our
Shock
AC
shield.
at?
Armor class, it should be under the defense tab.
Defenses. AC. Oh, my AC is low.
What is it?
13.
It's not super low. I mean, it's not 10.
That's true.
Does that put your
Are
AC
you wearing
worse than
armor?
mine?
Because you don't
Not-
have an
not
armor.
yet.
Okay, yeah, that's why it's so low.
But even so,
A +2 is only going to bring you up to 15.
Right.
Where's armor class?
Do you get a dodge? Don't you get a dodge bonus as an unchained rogue?
I'm not sure.
There we go.
I mean, I get I think I get evasion. Hold on. Where the hell did
Evasion. Oh, yeah, no, that's what I was mixing up. Yeah. Danger sense, that's when you get a +1 dodge bonus. So level 3, you will have dodge. And since you're a rogue, dodge tends to be slightly more important than AC.
So how does the dodge then work, like, for a rogue? Like, because normally, as far as I'm aware, like in 3.5, you don't necessarily get to try to dodge. It's just versus your
well,
AC.
the difference between well, yes, you dodge is what builds up the AC for a rogue, so that you can maintain armor that has a very high dex bonus to your AC. So you stack dodge bonus instead of stacking something else. Instead of wearing heavier armor.
So it's not something that I like. Dodge isn't something that I actively roll. It's just something that adds to my AC.
Yeah, and then you can describe what you did as dodging.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to take divination instead of abjuration, because the abjuration spells are just not useful.
Higher level they are.
Yeah, but I can get the implement for it by then.
Yeah, because he's an occultist, it's better to wait on it, probably.
Just get illusion. That's where it's at.
Make everyone look like an ogre. That way the entire city guard hates you guys.
Stage 2, AC attacks.
Okay, I'll take illusion.
Hold on. It just says that I get a +1 to...
I mean, they probably hate me already. I'm the person that probably beats them up and steals their lunch. Whatever.
So it was saying that my dodge bonus... I get a dodge bonus for traps.
Oh, right, I did not read the entire thing. I just saw the words +1 dodge bonus and jumped on it.
Hold on. Dodge
However,
bonus...
oh, uncanny dodge. No, wait, that... Uncanny dodge just... I'm sorry.
I went to another page. It does say a dodge bonus improves armor class,
yes,
resulting from physical skills at avoiding blows and other ill effects.
Right, so if you have to make an AC check on a trap, you're going to have +1 dodge bonus.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
And if you have to make a reflex save to avoid a trap, you get a +1 bonus.
Sweet.
I believe there are also talents that modify your okay, I thought there were. Apparently I'm wrong. Not uncommon.
I think I'm going to end up going with parade armor anyway. Well, that gives a -1 to armor check penalties.
Get some leather.
Yeah, be a rogue. Get some leather. Leather and lace.
Well, the reason I was thinking parade armor is because I do kind of like that benefit to...
You guys are really going to be blending in, and I mean, seriously, that's like wearing... That's like, you know, wearing a Manchester United jersey in England.
Pretty much. Yeah, so a +2 bonus.
Or wearing a I Love Petersburg shirt in Moscow.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, because it gives... Do you think it's worth the armor check penalty to get a +2 bonus to diplomacy and intimidation? Oh, wait, but from a person of that country. So, well, we're staying in Water's Deep, so...
Yeah,
Exactly.
and presumably you guys are going to be wearing, Waters Deep United armor.
I don't know these people.
I was also thinking of buying some dancing scarves.
See, now that would be super beneficial to you.
Stop molesting the microphone.
And I do actually have enough money because they cost 150 gold.
I just
Rich
wonder if Blood Bowl is being played in Waterdeep.
I'll be right back.
What was the question?
I wonder if Blood Bowl is
Who's
being
molesting
played
a
in Waterdeep.
microphone?
Adakeen, what was your question?
Do they play Blood Bowl in Waterdeep?
Yes, but everyone gets angry when the orcs win, except for, of course, the orcs.
A robot is not gonna tear your arms off if he loses.
God. Let the Wookiee win. Let the Orky win. Alright, we've been going for about 3 hours. 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, we can keep... I mean, I'm not saying we have to stop now, because, seriously, it's the people in the audience that have to suffer through a 4-hour video. But at this point, I mean, we've gone through most everything. At this point, it's all about filling in the gaps, because there are, of course, again, these character sheets have 1,000 places to fill in details. And then there are, you're gonna want to go through and double check everything, see if there's any attacks, bonus attacks, spell-like abilities, that kind of shit, to add to your character sheet so you have it readily available to use. But, I mean, at this point, we have some very fleshed out characters. Which brings us to discussing the final little details of what, one of the reasons I wanted you guys to be level 2. I guess I should wait until Ottawa comes back for this. But, yeah.
Everyone needs their bathroom breaks.
Of course, of course.
And we all know about that little shits and vomits virus coming out of Korea.
Soul3A1 in the chat asks, what is the program on the screen? I am using roll20.net. I don't like it, but it's kind of the best thing that's available right now. That's pretty simple to use and has character sheets and dice systems integrated. However, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone with it. I'm using it so I can learn everything wrong with it and then develop a competitive piece of software. If you want to watch me program that competing piece of software, catch my programming streams at random points during the week.
Also support Sevi on Patreon, you goddamn Scots.
I love you too, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
Oh, so yeah. Now, does anyone's armor provide spell resist?
Let me check.
Well, I guess all of you have basically the same armor except for the undead.
Plus the circumstance bonus to diplomacy and intimidate checks to influence a person from that counter.
Armor is for people with internal organs.
Arcane spell chance 15%.
Wait a second. Hold on. So you're just wearing a cloak then? A cloak and your or I guess you have to earn that, but your brooch of disguise. Yeah, God, that Constitution score really fucks you, doesn't it? 11 HP at level 2.
A brooch of disguise?
You were talking about a
Yes, I wanted to get one, but I wasn't given the okay.
I was waiting on you to send me an example of what an of disguise item would be.
Ah,
Did I not mention that? I might have missed it.
just 1 minute. I'll pull it up and get it sent over to you.
Alright, thank you. The foreigners are rich. Go figure.
How much money do you have?
I got 50 gold.
No, him. Tegwin.
Him.
Tegwin has spent all of his gold.
I
I'm
needed
just-
books and holy symbols and potion vials and stuff.
I was just curious how much you started with, though.
Not much.
Oh, you started with 60 gold. It was Ottakeen who had 100 gold in his pocket before spending.
Yeah.
I have 180. And I still haven't actually spent any of my,
You know what? Let me just throw it in the general chat here in Roll20.
Holy shit, 800 GP. Well, aren't you gonna be saving for a while?
Well, that's for one that allows for any number that fits the, general category.
I'm gonna guess that before you died, you set up one of those long-term accounts.
been collecting interest.
If anything had been stable in that length of time.
Banks don't care, there's always a Switzer.
Yeah, it's called Mert the Moneylender. And yes, there is a Jew in. Excuse me.
Well, we're getting demonetized.
Ew.
Oh, I'm allowed
Private
to fucking say
reference.
that. I have the fucking family to go. I have the family to back it up.
I have
Oh.
a current employer to back it up.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. In order to my character to do healing,
No,
he has to
honestly,
get
guys, I'm not afraid to shit on him. I want to shit on him. I want to get fired. And so it's his fault firing me, because he can't fire me for unproved slander, so it's at this point like, pay up the fucking forward cost.
Her boss sucks. I know him, unfortunately.
Aw.
I mean, I swear to you, he's a fucking stereotype. If you took one look at him, you would say, he just misses that. And I know what a yarmulke is. I just call it that fucking black pancake you wear on your black balding spot on your head. There. Imagine, I don't give a shit. We're the ones that liberated Auschwitz. We can say what the fuck we want in history.
I'm trying to think of what that thing's called, and I can't.
Yarmulke.
Yarmulke.
Yarmulke, yeah. That's it.
At least people are no longer painting hair on their head.
Well, if my character
He'd have to use a paper correctioner, because he's totally fucking white at this point.
I will let you get it as soon as you can craft wondrous item.
Outstanding. Level 3 can't come soon enough.
Yeah.
I still find it funny how my character is going to do when he is going to use conjuration spells.
I suppose for now I'm parading as a priest.
Yeah.
I carry holy symbols, the holy book. I cast healing spells.
My character is going to be pulling out his lunchbox when he uses conjuration spells.
Arcanist. White mage.
I
I'm
cast
sorry,
a
I
spell.
see that and I can't help but think of Final Fantasy XIV.
How many powers do they get again?
Oh, are you back, Adwa?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. In which case, I would like to nail down the relationship between all four of you, so the story can start a little more, organically, as compared to the, you're all in a pub, a fight breaks out, what do you do solution.
I still say I fed the kitty my pastrami sandwich and the cobalt His mother, like it or not, he went to kindergarten with me. I don't know if those were a thing, but still.
In fact, I'm
Well,
going to take us over just a bit to show you guys some things.
I was going to say, if we did start in a bar fight, what do? I sit back and eat popcorn.
Actually, I would not participate because I'd be pet kitty.
If you check the map that I just switched us to on Roll20 in the northeast corner, you'll see a little label that says Saul's office right next to T3. Now T3 is the Golden Horn gambling
Mine
house.
does not switch over; it just goes to the corner.
You just need to scroll over.
Oh yeah,
to
I can find it now. Yeah,
Yeah. So T3
next to Virgin Square. Wonder why?
Oh yeah,
Admit
that's where
your
you buy a
sins,
virgin.
Mister.
That's where you buy a virgin.
Admit your
Quotation
sins,
marks.
Mister.
And if you're into anal, Bowels of the Earth is right next door.
Oh my.
But
He's
yes,
he's a fucking slivery lizard, of course.
So T8 is the plinth,
yeah, T8 is the plinth.
which is where you can worship pretty much any god that doesn't have a temple, right?
Yes.
I preach there on Sunday.
There is, but basically, Saul's office is going to be, the equivalent of the inn you guys are always going to. It's where we're going to start the story in the very least. To the north, if you know Waterdeep at all, north of Waterdeep Way, basically directly north of Waterdeep Castle, is the market in the Wides. The purple area is called the Wide, mostly because it's a very wide swath of land in the very middle of Waterdeep. And most of the buildings here are just people's houses, right? There are going to be other buildings that I label over time, and as you guys are looking for things, I'll probably just say, okay, fuck that, this is a useful place for you guys. But we also have a very simple map of Saul's office in the middle, the gambling house on the right, or left, excuse me, and the inn on the right. So essentially, this is essentially what I wanted to be home base, but again, challenge me, discuss amongst yourselves, because
Where's the pantry?
there's a basement and there are barrels right next to the entryway.
Good.
All right, so
Good!
here's what I think. We meet the orc. What's the orc's name?
E-Creek.
E-Creek.
Brood Squad.
We meet E-Creek because E-Creek feeds Seth salmon and milk every so often.
And pastrami sandwiches, because that's what she usually buys.
So Kitty comes by, eats.
Cute kitty!
Maybe Seth overhears some talking between Saul and whatnot, because I think that's going to be one of the main purposes of when he's in cat form is spying.
I mean, honestly, my whole orc name is E-Creek because that sounds like Erik, and that's my fucking snaggle-toothed dog that has an underbite mixed with the fact that I actually have a tan, so enjoy. I'm not being smart about this. Again, I'm too smart every day.
So maybe Seth overhears some stuff and then potentially approaches Saul or something. How does that sound?
I mean, this part's up to y'all.
I mean, what exactly is Saul's role again?
He's the center character. Or
well,
that, or one day he just... What if Seth actually one day jumps on E-Creek's shoulder and decides to stick around, and she's like, yeah, cute kitty, keep you as pet, also have meeting later. So she goes to Saul. He's planning this because he's overheard things. So he's sticking out there under this disguise, and in the middle of the conversation between her and Soul, he actually shows his true form and talks about things.
Well, his true form is the cat form, but
Yeah, but I mean the
But
talking
his-
cat bast form, yeah, right? Not just
his-
I'm a regular feline that eats rats here.
So the one thing about Saul is that, well, Saul being a kobold, who is, pretty skilled in negotiation and law, but not, a well-known and upstanding lawyer within the community, presumably not very high up in the Scriveners Guilds, is going to be approached by someone basically right at the beginning of the session. And I want you guys to know each other before that starts without having to waste too much time so that we can get right into the story itself.
Sounds good to me.
Well,
which one is his office?
So what about? I mean, I don't know what the mission is. So what about Seth is around when this guy approaches, but nobody knows that he's that he's an intelligent, like that he's more intelligent than just a regular cat. And
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, and he listens in on the conversation, and then, I mean, because I assume that basically Saul would have to assemble a team, as it were.
Yes.
So once the guy leaves, then perhaps Seth reveals that he's not a cat. When it's just Saul and the orc, and then he says, "Well, I know somebody else as well that could potentially help."
That works. I just want to be sure you guys are prepared for it, because I mean, I drop my players right into the middle of a story, so.
Yeah, well then that's fine.
That's the best way, though.
Yeah, I think that'll probably work well for what's going on.
I'll have no issues.
Alright, with that, I mean, we've been going for a long time. We've accomplished quite a lot. We've got character sheets.
We've probably bored people to death and to sleep at this point.
Well, I'm not surprised. Well, okay, I'm actually terribly surprised. We have 9 viewers, so obviously we're doing something right here.
Food!
But yeah, with that, I'm going to say thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next week for the game.
Subscribe, share, help the channel grow, and donate to Patreon.
Yes, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern is when we will be playing. So
11 p.m. Central European Standard Time, if that's where you are. But yeah, and then we will actually get into the, political intrigue and violent action. But with that, I am going to bid you all a bonsoir, and thank you so very much. Mwah.
Night-night.
bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.